Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Friday Night Fights. We have an amazing show for you guys tonight. It is the playoffs in the Pro Series and the Legacy Series, and we've got matches from both for you tonight. But first, before I introduce our matches, let me introduce our hosts tonight, myself, Mayanadon, as well as DollaBilz joining me on the desk, and Saku, as always. How's everybody feeling tonight?
Oh, man, I'm excited. Just every time I get to cast Donde, right, it's just like, oh, I can't wait. Every time I see that little adorable circle in the Discord server, cat, it's just like this is gonna be good.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a great match, and that's a little teaser for our first match. The first match that we have tonight is coming up very soon. It's the Pro semifinals. It is A.E.O.N versus Tap Last. We've got Donde for A.E.O.N against CmaccompH of Tap Last. They have brought some new decks. I mean, we're excited to see kind of how the Hall of Fame has shifted the meta. And we'll see if they're playing any of the new priest cards. I did take a quick look. I didn't see any of those, but some of the cards that we're losing with the Leroy and in the Warriors case, we've got the Dr. Boom coming back a little bit stronger. So a couple of interesting things. We have the bans in already. The class brings are Mage, Priest, Rogue, Warrior for CmaccompH and Druid, Mage, Rogue, Warrior for Donde. Both of those mages are Highlander, but we're both banned out. So we will be seeing, for CmaccompH, a Res Priest. I believe they are on the screen here, as far as I do. Awesome. So we have that Res Priest for CmaccompH, as well as Galakron Warrior. No more Leroy, but switched it out with a Cork Run, it looks like. And then also we lost the Acolytes, so putting in that Ankar. Surprising, there's only one Battle Rage in there, but we'll see how that plays out. And then the Rogue that he brought was a Highlander Rogue. On the other side of things, for Donde, we've got a Quest Druid with Nomi, so that's pretty spicy. We've seen some different tech there for the top end, and the Nomi is something interesting, along with the Zephyrus there. And then I like it very, yeah, that's good stuff. Another Highlander Rogue there, and a Highlander Warrior. I did see, I think since the Hall of Fame, a couple people playing this Highlander list or something similar. Dr. Boom going back down to 7 is a huge power spike, and kind of just building the deck around that and the Highlander sort of mechanics. So I'm interested to see how they play, but looking forward to it. What do you guys think about those lineups?
Man, I'm really excited about this Chef Nomi, just because I've noticed that in my Quest Druid experience, sometimes I get to the end and like Ysera portals are great. Obviously Ysera Unleashed and Cenarius have sort of just been the top end of the Quest Druid strategy, but sometimes your portals are all at the bottom of your deck and you draw all 7 of them, and then you get Plague of Death, and then maybe you have a Floop, you get another one, and then they get Mass Hysteria, and then you're just kind of out of stuff, right? And with the rotation of Leroy, all of a sudden you have this spot that maybe Nomi, if you expect everything to slow down because Leroy has rotated, give you a little bit more gas against those slower decks. And Ted has joined us. Welcome, the big Ted.
Yes, thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
His internet's
Comcast
a little
is
wonky.
great company. Comcast is a great company, but yeah.
So there's a free plug, Comcast. Anybody that wants internet?
If you want to sponsor us, Comcast. I do live in Philadelphia. You have a nice, beautiful building here. Actually, 2 buildings. So
yeah, that's Comcast with a Z, not a S.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, I'm excited for this match. We've got a full desk to cast this one for you, so really excited about that. And how are the players? Are they looking ready to get in?
They're always ready. So I'll just let the guys challenge up, and we'll get started. So
I wanna get your thoughts while they're queuing this up here. I'm
Yeah.
interested in the single core cron, single battle rage, because a lot of time I feel like when I was doing a lot of Galacron Warrior, I was playing actually two core crons and no Leroy, and that sort of fell out in favor of like a Leroy and a Snip Snap, something like that. The Ankar inclusion is I find that to be quite surprising. Is Risky Skipper that important that you Ankar just to make sure to get your skip? It's like a third skipper.
It's so good. I mean, I know I was testing it even before the Hall of Fame happened, and it was working pretty well. It's just one of those cards that gives you so many power plays, whether that be with Battle Rage or with just playing minions and comboing and either gaining armor. I mean, there's so many different options, and it's just a draw card. Especially we lost Acolyte of Pain, so having that extra draw card is helpful. I do disagree with the one Battle Rage personally, especially when you're running the Ankar and you're really building around those skippers. Double Battle Rage can be so powerful, but he opted for the Snip Snap, which I don't dislike. I think the Snip Snap can be really powerful, especially when you're running 2 Eternium Rovers. So we will see how that does play out, but there is a potential that he can run out of steam. It has lost a good amount of draw for that deck, so we'll see if it does come into play here in this series.
I'm really, I mean, the loss, I have to assume that the loss of Acolyte of Pain, I never really thought about Acolyte of Pain as like a super high power level card, but then I started thinking about how it's the first 2 cards that maybe not the first 2, but it's like the 10th and 11th cards that go into my combo deck after the combo's in there, right? It's like, all right, combo's in there. Now I need to draw all those cards.
And here we are. We are starting the game up. We are seeing, to start, we have CmaccompH on his Res Priest. And Donde on the Quest Druid. This is going to be a fun one. This is an interesting matchup. I mean, it could go quite long. I do think the Res Priest is favored here, but I haven't seen the Nomi, so maybe that's gonna give him some percentage points towards the late game if he can get there. Really cycle his deck. You have the potential for 2 Nomis with this deck with the Floop if you want, or maybe go for the 2 Ysseras. We shall see what Donde decides here. But yeah.
And there definitely is enough other stuff in his deck to bait out enough removals that you might just get something to stick.
And I'd be interested to see. Yeah, he's actually running. He's cut. It looks like Donde has cut a lot of the, sort of the early. We don't see any copies of bees. There's no steel beetles. It looks like all of that stuff that had come in to blunt aggressive token kind of stuff has been shuffled aside in favor of Nomi, Zephyrus, because like Zephyrus was one of those things you had to cut, right? And now that we're seeing a full power level druid up against this priest, I have to assume that's why these cards are in here, right? The Nomi in particular.
Yeah, I do think that that's a little nod to the players knowing each other. I think Donde is aware that CMAC does prefer his more controlling decks. We do see the Galacron Warrior, which is a little bit more of a tempo deck, but maybe having that read and deciding I should probably have some good top end just to potentially outlast his control decks.
And speaking of control decks, we're going to see these guys staring across the board at each other very sternly for a little bit as they both sort of get into their power up. I mean, the first aggressive card we're going to be able to see is actually, I would assume this Bad Luck Albatross is a Windmill Slamming Pawn the board for CMAC.
And it's especially nice to play this knowing that your opponent does have the Nomi. That can really delay that for a long time, especially if you keep resing them.
Yeah, and with that Psychopomp in hand, we can definitely see it start getting rezzed quite a lot. The one downside is you do like your taunts for the late game, especially, if the Druid builds a big board, you want to res some taunts. But if you can apply that pressure early with just a bunch of Albatrosses and make their draws kind of awkward, you can be in pretty good shape. Right now, Donde after this turn will be at 3 out of 4 for the quest. Didn't have the coin to start, so not going to see that come out till turn 6, but he does have the Nourish to follow up when he does complete that quest.
I think it's pretty interesting that he decided to wrap it there just because it sets up for the Psychopomp so perfectly.
Yeah, sometimes you got to, say, do they have it or not? Maybe just didn't want to take the damage now. But I do agree it can be a little awkward there. Now a couple of options could try to contest it with the Power of the Wild, along with the Hero Power to trade it into the 3/1, at least deal with half of this Albatross here, potentially.
I'm a little slow, so I just noticed that the attack for the Druid turned green.
Yeah, I was actually gonna bring that up as well. You know, that's a new change. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that came in the latest update.
Just to a decrease in contrast update. Get that green against the yellow.
Yeah.
I think
you mean
it's
I can attack? Ooh, pretty.
I think the idea is that it's showing it's buffing your attack. Your attack isn't normally 1, so I think that was just their thought process anyway. And there is the first Albatross, so only 1 more in the deck, but there's 4 more in that Albatross in the right there in that rezzed or the what is that called? The reborn Albatross there.
Yeah, and this is one of those creatures, the Convincing Infiltrator. I feel like half of this priest deck could rotate out, but as long as Convincing Infiltrator and res effects were a thing, this Convincing Infiltrator would just slam the door. Because look at how the 6 health line is really irritating to get through with one of your most powerful cards, the Oasis Surger. You have to spend Oasis Surger and a buff, and then you might lose, and then you're guaranteed to lose half of it anyway. It's just such a strong board control tool.
Yeah. Now, actually, I'm looking a little bit closer at this this priest deck, and it the more I look at it, the more I'm interested in sort of the build here. He's got double Bone Wraith, as well as you know, the Kronks, which you don't necessarily see a lot of the times in this deck. There have been iterations with the Galakrond and the double what's it called? The double the 5-cost Destroy a Minion, but he decided to take that out. The double the Destroy a Minion and Vote card.
Time rips. Playing
only has the
time
Kronks.
rips.
Yeah, the time rip, exactly. Only has the Kronks and the Galakrond, just kind of maybe for that extra value into these matchups. And then another interesting thing is, you know, we don't see any of the Water Bearers or some of the other sort of classic brings in this deck. So, I mean, I'm interested to see how this plays out the rest of the match. Maybe it is built a little bit more around kind of that tempo with these Albatrosses and kind of pushing and, you know, having that backup plan of the Kartuts and the Convincing Infiltrators.
Yeah, and this is just a fantastic... I mean, you can see that Donde is firmly in the tank right now, trying to figure out exactly how to navigate the rest of his turn, opting to, you know, ordinarily heal 11, get a 6/6 taunt. You'd be feeling pretty good, but the situation that CMAC has put him in, you know, this is just going to get removed. You mentioned there's no invokes anyway, so you might as well just go ahead, use it to remove 1 and push just a surprising amount of face damage for a priest. And it's all... Yeah, 2/6 taunt is just allowing this offense to get going.
I'm a little surprised by that play from Donde, actually, because he knew that the Galakrond was in the hand, and playing 1 minion into that can never, you know, be the optimal play.
Yeah, doesn't feel good for sure.
And then what is he probably gonna buff these up with the Power of the Wild? I would say.
Yeah, so I guess gonna conserve 1 of them here, but build a big enough board that you can hopefully hit something that's not your other 6/6 and manages to.
I mean, I guess that's kind of like the medium road, right? The middle outcome.
You'll take it. I'd take it.
Yeah, he does have this scenarios to follow up, and we don't see a great clear currently in CMAC's hand. He does have double Mass Hysteria and the double Plague of Death, but not in the hand right now. So if the scenarios does come down next turn onto a big enough board, it can start applying some good pressure.
And wow, actually just going ahead and gonna start stoking the fires of that value engine early.
And getting a dragon. I've never seen Breath of the Infinite be yellow like that.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
It's wait, that works? That can happen?
I didn't know about that. That's so weird.
So now, gosh, do you start planting birds into Donde's deck, or do you just keep... I mean, this bird has gotten in, if it attacks face, for at least what, 12 damage, 15 damage? Like,
it must be at this point. And that, I mean, that Murazon can also be pretty powerful. You know that your opponent's playing some pretty powerful swing potential plays, and the Murazon could potentially help in that situation.
And here are some of those cards you were just talking about, how not playing either copy of Time Rip, not playing the little invoke not playing the Rush Invoke, Devoted Maniac, not playing the Shield Invoke, Shield of Galakron. I assume this is one of the cards. This Bone Wraith is taking one of those spots that have been removed.
Yeah, I think most of the Res Priest lists that were running Galakron were only running the 2 time rips to maybe get max, double invoked value. But I do still think, removing the time rips, adding the Kronks, which you don't always see in those lists either, because it's not so much about getting the Galakron early. It's about just having that extra value in the late game, maybe removing something. So it will be interesting. He's a little bit more early curve with things like the Bone Wraith, maybe expecting some more aggro, but did not actually find it in the lineup that Donde did bring.
Yeah, actually, Donde going to go ahead and utilize the spell power to burn through the first half of the Bone Wraith, and then has to decide. I mean, I was gonna say the Bone Wraith is coming back, right? Bone Wraith.
Eventually.
Bone Wraith, that's your cue.
Hey man.
I don't know if I like the trade there. I mean, this like you're looking at a 2-1, and the Lodi can just have so much potential to for your opponent to have to play around. So just leaving it up kind of not keeping it stealth can be kind of awkward here. And we see he can play a 5-drop and remove it with the forbidden words here. If you choose to do that.
Oh, he could also just drop his Murs on to get his own.
And
I'm actually curious how the Murzon works with this, because I wonder if it'll come out as the 4/6 or if it'll be just like basic Lodi. Nope, so it is the 4/6, so good to know.
Interesting.
Wipe won't miss there.
Yeah. I somewhat expected that to just come out as a vanilla 1/2.
Yeah, I kind of did too. I guess it takes whatever. Like, I guess if it was a choose one, it would have taken whatever form was chosen.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it doesn't do battle cries, but whatever you did play, I think does just whatever identical thing will happen, right? If you're playing like a buff version of a minion, it'll be the buff version, I think. So
the more you know.
It does make sense, but it is weird. It's an interaction I actually haven't seen, and that is a lot of eagles.
There's gonna be another one. Is there another one coming?
Wow.
Maybe? No.
I'm a big fan of Eagles, for those who don't know. It's a Philly sports
never heard that you like the Eagles.
So I'm all on board for this. From a Patriots fan like Donde to be supporting the Eagles like
so
this.
many Eagles.
And the Panthers. Look at that. See? Eagles and Panthers.
Yeah, Eagles and the Panthers.
Way to go, Donde.
I guess he's joining you and Brushy Tuna, right? Is an Eagles fan?
Brushy Tuna is not normally, but when he loses bets to me, he does become an Eagles fan.
Gosh, actually, the number of birds that have been played in this game between Donde and CMAC is just so many. Wow, that's a Spirit of the Dead, if I'm not mistaken.
Really good with that Quartet Defender in hand.
No.
Oh, and this guy.
Yeah.
Donde staring down potential doom. But
yeah, this is not looking too good for Donde.
I mean, there's still a lot of gas. We have those Nomis. There's only one, or the Nomi and potentially a second one. There's only one Plague of Death currently in hand, but you got to speed things up here, I think, if you want to have a chance.
Oh, it's
not over, but it is.
Yeah,
currently looking.
And they're just having to swipe, I guess.
Yeah, just committing so much removal, and it's just guaranteed to lose. I assume he played out the Anubis Hat Defender first because he really wanted to send all 3 Eagles to the face. But, yeah, but just that Eagle was too much of a team player, because the Eagles are a team.
That's right. Thank you very much. For continuing
Cut to commercial.
Cut to commercial. Yeah, the Xerix being a little awkward. I think we've seen most of the minions already in the hand. So I think right now it would only pull an Albatross, a Psychopomp, a Bone Wraith, and a Kartut, I think. So not the most powerful Xerix, kind of holding on to it. Probably not going to be played this game.
God, this Spirit of the Dead is so good here.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that Donde does to remove this board. I mean, CMAC just saw all of the a lot of the just area of effect removal as well as Lodi,
So many
right? All
Yeah.
spent. You can just throw this stealth O3 down, and you know not only you're guaranteed at least one cost convincing infiltrator, Kronks, and Bone Wraith, but maybe even more because the Spirit of the Dead, it's not going anywhere.
No. And then what's Donde gonna do next turn? Play Starfall and target the Spirit of the Dead?
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
think I don't think CmacComp's gonna complain about that.
No,
He
please.
does have another Wrath in the deck, so there is a potential to get that.
So many contradictions.
So
Kind of unfortunate that you can't find it
Time
though.
run low.
Yeah, wasn't able to find it right now, but probably just gonna heal up and make another taunt and just not do the trades just yet. And actually gonna innervate out an Albatross just to have more minions, and so they're gonna opt for the trades in the end. Gonna give a bunch of one-cost minions that actually make the Xerix a lot better with this Spirit of the Dead.
Very true.
He's going to be able to get a Kronks back as well in the deck, which, while now he's Galakron, he can trade this Kronks into the 6/6 and have a Kronks in the deck. He can trade this in as well if he chooses to. And now the Xerix is actually looking like a decent play. Maybe not this turn with potentially better power plays in hand, but it does have potential.
He's looking at it.
He's thinking about it, yeah.
Oh, for sure. And if that activates, if CMAC is able to activate the Spirit of the Dead, if Donde does decide to commit the Starfall. And
I think I would trade this in first, unless he knows exactly how many he has. So yeah, he already has a full bird, so yeah, so making the correct play there was gonna. I mean, it maybe could have been instead of the Psychopomp. There's a chance he could have gotten 2 Bone Wraiths instead of a Psychopomp there, but probably better to guarantee getting that convincing infiltrator and the Albatross in there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if you're Donde, do you have to Starfall this board? Like you were just saying, Ted, do you have to Starfall this O3? This is the life we're living.
I feel like you gotta have to, and it feels so bad, especially when swipe when swipe would be so good here.
Yeah.
So many.
So if it's being attacked, it doesn't trigger the other minions from being killed, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't because it's after they die.
Right.
Yeah.
Not whenever. So yeah.
It'd be trouble if it was whenever.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna strike first. That's a little bit of a misplay. He's gonna give the additional.
Yeah.
In hand or in deck.
Maybe he's okay with that. I mean, there's a chance he was considering it and decided I'd rather, a Bone Wraith isn't that scary for me, so I don't mind him top decking a 1/1 Bone Wraith when I can, push more damage, right?
Yeah, sure.
And he does.
Hey, there it is.
No,
It's a 1 mana.
It is a 1 mana Bone Wraith, but
yeah, I think you're right. I think you'd rather have a.
Oh
my gosh. He really is the infinite.
I'd be playing that right now.
I think he's gonna slam it here.
You get the Starfall. It could hit your own minions, I believe. It doesn't say target an enemy, but it does say enemy. It does say enemy. So.
Yeah, well, I believe the 2 damage will always go to the enemies, but the 5 can go to
anything.
Can go anywhere. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't actually seen that happen.
Wait, so
I haven't really
Oasis
tried
Surge,
targeting it anywhere else, but
the Oasis Surger doesn't come out as a 5/5.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's kind of
but
after the Lodi, I expected everything
I
to
did
fall.
too. That actually could cost him the game. That's a really, really powerful play, and now he's going to have to answer with that plague and not be able to develop anything. And that means that the initiative goes back to Donde. So actually that not giving him the 5/5s, I thought it was going to give the 5/5s. I mean, consistency, Blizzard. What is happening here? I understand, that's like a choose. I don't know. That's so strange because it's a choose one and you get the buff.
Both of them are choose ones.
Yeah, like Lodi's a choose one, and
Starfall is a choose one, right?
Yeah, they're both. I'm looking for any difference, and I guess because one says transform.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. One of them's like a buff, one of them's a transform.
Yeah, that must be it. So the transforms happen, but because transform is when the minion is summoned. It's when you play it, it's just that minion. Whereas the Oasis Surger, when you play it, it starts as just a 3/3 with Rush, and then it gets buffed, it duplicates. So I can see it making sense, but I definitely made, in my mind, I had the same mistake there. I don't know if I would have kept the 1/1 there in hand just to be able to potentially play Ysera again, but maybe he's
That's what I was gonna say. Either that or you just play the Albatross first. Just so you have that option. Katrina.
Oh my goodness.
wow.
I was gonna say Kronks is not super exciting, but then again, 8 mana, 12, 14. It's kind of tough to be that upset at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe Donde making the decision that he's played 1 Plague of Death. If I can get to this Nomi quick enough, I'd rather have 2 Nomis than 2 Yseras, but I feel like Ysera is the way to win this one, right? You want to slowly kind of develop a decent board and force them to use their removal, and then be able to play something a little bigger. But now this power play here is going to heal a ton. If this Zephyrus is not active, I'm not sure if it is yet.
I think there's still 2 Albatross in the deck.
Not. And
yeah,
no, it's not. He has all the Ysera portals.
Right.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
that's
all the
right.
Ysera portals. even with the Albatrosses. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So really awkward. No great way to deal with this. And wow, getting the Lodi, comes back like that too. So I think it's just Lodi. When you played it, it becomes that whatever version of itself. So Lodi is the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, so like
choose
I guess
one situation.
a Druid of the Claw would come out as a 4/6 rush taunt, as a 4/6 charge taunt at post quest completion.
Yeah, because it's technically a different card.
Yeah, it's
right. It does. It's not a buff. It's a different card entirely. Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
Just
we
learning all
something
kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Hey guys, did you guys hear about this game that we play? It's called Hearthstone.
Yeah,
It's like
there's a lot
cards
going
and
on.
stuff.
I'm sure CMAC wasn't too excited about learning that, but
Right.
stabilize here a little bit. So we'll see if that does continue.
Oh, you never want to do that.
You really don't. Yeah. Oh. Welcome back to full health, my friends.
Yeah, this is looking a little over for Donde.
Yeah, there were a couple swings there. I thought maybe he was able to get it back, but I don't know. I don't know if the Albatross would have made a difference. Like maybe a second Ysera would have potentially applied enough pressure, but with this board, it's tough.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So what minions has he gotten so far? He's gotten double Spirit of the Dead and double
Katrina.
Double Murazond.
double Murazond off of it.
Yep.
A Katrina, yeah. Not too shabby.
He's about to get approximately 15,000 Kartut defenders.
That's right. Just a little bit of rounding there, but I think that's right.
I think he rounded down on that one. But
Yeah, that's right. He rounded down. It's like 15,087, but we'll call it 15,000.
I mean, I don't think he's going to fatigue anytime soon with all these Spirit of the Dead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Donde's deck is 5 portals. Of the 11 cards remaining, I think 5 of them are green portals.
And 2 of them are Albatross.
Yes, you have her.
So what does that leave? Nomi and
Nomi, yeah.
yeah.
Nomi and
Crystal Merchant, maybe?
Crystal Merchant, second
Crystal
Rat.
Merchant. Second Rat.
I think.
Mhm.
Yep, and another Howl, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are the cards left that aren't portals. And a little bit of a low roll there on the dragons. These are 2 dragons that are not applying too much pressure. Some of the lower statted ones, anyway.
Many contradictions.
A.E.O.N Reaver is definitely one you'd rather play out of your hand. The old light bomb battle cry effect. It's just a 4/4 is not. That's not. You're looking for 12/12s. You're looking for 7.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a chance that we can see it. I don't actually know. He might actually just be dead here this turn, but is there a way for him to clear enough? He's looking at 22 damage. He's at 18. I think he can only clear off 3, so he might have to just Anubisath with this. And that just feels so bad. But it's the only play that keeps you alive, technically. So
So many
Yikes.
contradictions.
I think you do it, but you're not happy about it one bit.
And the worst part is that anything you can clear off just comes right.
Yeah. Comes back with a vengeance. Yeah.
Doesn't even hit a portal. Oh
A
man.
million card tuts in the deck. Is there... Yeah, with Mass Dispel, we're looking at 19 damage, and that'll do it. And CMAC takes game one.
I think CmaccompH should just use Mass Resurrect right now.
Just for the 360 no scope. Like, I'm gonna mass res for one.
Some Mass Hysteria, I should say, not Mass Resurrect.
Oh, Mass Hysteria, yeah.
That would have been good. See which one lasted.
And I do think this quest druid is going to struggle into this potentially. What do we have left? Actually, we have rogue and warrior left, so the druid actually probably does have a good matchup remaining. And that actually, I mean, maybe that's what sort of the mind games were to start here. Maybe CmaccompH was like, I want to get the win with my res priest. It's got a good matchup here into the quest druid, and I know his quest druid has two good matchups with the warrior and the rogue, so I want to queue it first, hoping he queues his best deck first, and was able to get it and was able to get the win. So I think I actually Donde might just run that quest druid back, and we'll see what CmaccompH decides to do to answer that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think also just as a matter of administration, do we penalize CmaccompH for not using any of the new priest cards in his priest list? Is that...
No, yeah, maybe he had an option.
Caster
too.
Shame him if you want.
Option.
Yeah, Caster Shame.
And here we go. So it is the druid again for Donde, and for CmaccompH, we're going to see that Highlander rogue. I think it's this is going to be a fun matchup. This Highlander rogue has been seeing some play recently, a good amount with a lot of pros for sure. So I think it has a lot of potential, and doesn't rely on Leroy as much as some other decks that were playing it before. So we'll see if it can kind of get the better of Druid here. I think a lot of that relies on things like Edwin, which we do not see just yet.
Yeah, actually, this was one of the cards I wanted to talk about as an inclusion in this list. What do you put in instead of Leroy? And I don't know if this is necessarily instead of Leroy, but the Hot Air Balloon has been doing some good work for mech paladins here for a while. And if you're going to be a Highlander anyway, and you're used to, you're going to have your Ziliax, you're going to have your Snip Snap, your Highlander, might as well
throw a little something in there.
And who knows? It can get totally out of control, and it's something you can probably attach, your Praise Galacrond to.
Absolutely, and we do have Snip Snap in the deck and Ziliax that could also magnetize onto this in due time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you can if you staple 3 Snip Snaps onto this thing, it's just out of control.
And Donde this time hitting the coin, so going to be able to accelerate the quest a little bit. He's going to have that Oasis Surger on 5, but CmaccompH's going to have the Flick to answer that, which is probably one of the better answers to that play. Let's see if he decides to tempo this out. I think it probably makes sense here. Into this matchup, you kind of just want to be as aggressive as possible as the rogue.
Yeah, and just force, because all of Druid's removal is going to be damage based, and it's probably going to struggle, Oasis Surger notwithstanding, and then of course the primary target of Starfall. It's got to be, you're going to have to use some of your offensive resources in terms of Oasis Surger, or you're going to have to use some of your premium removal in the form of Starfall, because you were talking about how there's 2 Wraths, 2 Swipes, and then the 2 Starfalls. There's no, and they're all damage based. It's all damage based, which once again, this Hot Air Balloon is going to get out of range pretty quick if Donde doesn't find a way to clear it.
It's just annoying, and it's only 1 damage, but it just keeps growing.
Yeah, and there's just the potential that you can draw something that makes it even more scary.
Yeah.
This Zephyrs is interesting. I don't think something you want to see this turn, but it's going to give a lot of options later. This Mana Saber opening up the potential for, if he holds on to it a little, being a little bit greedy next turn with it, knowing that these Surgers can come out. I could see him holding on and trying to get that Siamat in 2 turns rather than, attacking with the Mana Saber next turn. But we'll see.
There's so many good potential 6-cost cards as well. Obviously, you talked about the Flick can come down. There's also, obviously, 6 is when your Togwagulus comes online, your Kronx comes online. And it's just, having that mana saver to either accelerating into the 6 is just a real exciting. Opens up all kinds of possibilities.
Absolutely.
Interesting inclusion with the Dragon Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it in quite a few of these Highlander lists for Rogue. It just kind of gives you some options and a turn 1 play, which is pretty important.
Yeah.
Deathwing's interesting. It definitely gives you some cool potential options if you do fall behind the board, which ideally you don't, but
Yeah, and also that's a huge weakness of rogues is catching up on the board once you've fallen behind. So that's nice to kind of have a pocket.
Oh, absolutely. Also,
and Donde here doing some good math. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it's a really fun shadow step target. 6
Oh, absolutely.
12? Yes.
But yeah, Donde doing some good math there, swinging in, the times that he needed to into the hot air balloon to be able to clear at turn 5 here.
Yeah, is Flick a good option? I was gonna say.
I love Flick here.
Yeah.
I think it's just right. It's gonna get rid of the floop as well, which is so powerful. That is so strong. Getting rid of the floop and the Surger. You can't ask for something better than that. I mean, that's the most powerful thing you can do there for sure.
CMAC would love to see a bottom right, but from Donde, but that's not going to happen. But boy, Donde is a fighter.
He's a fighter, and he's not out of it. He's got the double nourish. He can definitely start accelerating things here as long as he doesn't fall too far behind.
Yeah, I mean it's the nourish is too good. Ramp towards your later game bombs. Try to find it seems like at this point we're really looking for Ysera and Cenarius just to try to get some footing. Obviously you can't draw for Oasis Surgers anymore, sad face.
I do. I mean, it does cycle your deck a little bit quicker to maybe some of your better stuff. We do, like you said, you have the Cenarius now in hand. No way to copy anything, so you're gonna want to make sure that your stuff remains somewhat safe as far as you gotta start incrementing your tempo turns a little bit more without the loop to kind of follow up.
I love this turbo offense mode from Tiamat. Just going for the full Divine Spirit Wind or Divine Shield Wind Fury. Basically just say, hey, Donde, you got a way to deal with a 6/6 Wind Fury Divine Shield? No, here it comes. He really wants Donde to play the 6/6 heal 12, right? The hidden Oasis. And then Tiamat just will plow through that.
Yeah, so a couple of options here for Donde. He's got the Starfall as well as the Wrath to clear a good amount of things up here. Also the Swipe. So it's a couple different options. This Mana Saber is gonna stay alive, but.
And gosh, just an awkward. That Divine Shield is, if I'm not mistaken, Wrath does 3 and then 1, not the other way around, which is
yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but.
So are we committing a Wrath and a Starfall here? Like, is this board threatening enough to where we're gonna try? Well, actually, that doesn't even clear the Flick, does it?
Yeah.
I think we just have to clear the Tiamat with the 12 damage potential. I mean, you're dead if you don't right now because it has the Wind Fury. So unless you were gonna heal for 12 or for 10 and make a 6/6 that just dies a lot of the time, I think you're just forced into it.
Yeah, and so now as CMAC, the Pharaoh Cat draw is not super compelling. There's the option to burn a couple of cards and make what would that be, a 6/6 Van Cleef potentially?
Yeah, I think he's definitely considering that option, thinking about the Van Cleef. But with that fine there off of the Pharaoh Cat, now maybe considering that Wrapped Golem.
Yeah, Wrapped Golem is another one. I mean, we saw this over and over again in that Priest game. Wrapped Golem is one of those defensive cards that just really lets you open up the throttle on your offense there. It's not, obviously, it's not, generally speaking, good enough to put into decks, but I feel like this is one of those top-end Reborn minions that you're not really that upset to find out your Pharaoh Cat, particularly when you're ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Absolutely.
And can we just talk about this Mana Saber? I mean, it's been sitting here since turn 4. It hasn't attacked once. Like, I definitely understand, wanting to hold on for a power turn for that extra mana, but at this point...
I was going to ask you guys about that. Like, we're at turn 8 right now, so he hasn't used it once. Is it just intimidation or?
I mean, now he's all in, right? He's all in on that. It's still stealth, so it has the chance to survive some of these board clears. We are going to see the swipe. Going to be able to clear it up, but that was 4 mana that just sat there for 4 turns, and wasn't able to do quite enough or anything. Yeah. And here comes the Deathwing. I like this a lot. You finally lost the board. Make a big thing. It only has to clear up one thing, and you've gotten rid of all of the Oasis Surgers, so there's no chance of them making this a little bit worse for you. And that Zephyrus not active just yet. Still 11 cards in deck.
I think he just has a hidden Oasis here. And Pray. I guess you can nourish first.
Yeah.
I would definitely be tempted to nourish to try to draw out that last duplicate and turn this Nomi on in hopes of reversing your fortunes. Since, like you're saying, since you're able to do both, and just actually, does that turn on the Zephyrus, the Howl?
Does not seem to.
No, there's another double. Wow, there's another double down in 8 cards. 2 of them are doubles though.
Yeah, let me take a look at this list here. What are we thinking? It's Ferocious Howl. No, he has both Ferocious Howls in hand.
Is it the power of
yeah, interface? No, he's only running 1 Innervate.
No, he's only running 1 Innervate. Rising Winds.
Oh, Rising Winds.
It's Rising Winds.
And Power of the Wild too. Power of the Wild too.
Got both. He's got both in the hand.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Oh, and that is a top deck. Right when you were starting to run out of steam a little bit. Now you got to choose 5 armor or 1 health. I think you go 5 armor.
The answer is yes. So.
Yeah, I mean, twist my arm. I mean, I guess.
I'm actually thinking about it now. It's open deck lists, and maybe that flick was really, really powerful. But if it does get to the late game, he doesn't have a really good answer for Nomi, which maybe could have been answered with the flick, getting rid of all the 6/6 besides Nomi if it comes to that. So we'll see if that does come back. But right now, CMAC is looking in a pretty dominant position, unless Donde is going to find something to answer this. Potentially this. Oh, and there's the Zephyrus being active, so going to have a way to deal with this board.
Oh man, and not a moment too soon. This. So now, I mean, I'm just looking at the threats that are going to be coming out of the. Oh, actually, Ferocious Howl means you're definitely not going to get Twisting Nether. So Donde looking for more value off this potential Zephyrus removal option.
Yeah, maybe hoping he's going to invest a little bit more. I agree with that. I mean, he's running out of cards in hand a little bit. If he doesn't invest into this, you feel pretty good about it too. You're not taking too much damage. You're at like, how much health is he at right now? Like 50 something, nearly 50. So probably not too scared of dying just yet. So can hold on another turn.
Yeah, Donde would really like CMAC to overextend into this. I would assume, I don't know if he's thinking about it specifically, but Donde would love to see this Van Cleef come down, right? Just a way overinvested. But it looks like CMAC.
And there's my very own Deathwing for CMAC. We've seen both Deathwings this game for CMAC, so
Donde doesn't like that card, I don't think, right now.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to CMAC, a really good Dragon Wrangler with a pair of Murazons and a pair of Deathwings so far, just in this series.
Yeah, now deciding if he wants to go in a little bit harder, and I think making the read that he should probably wait to try to go in again. He's got the Zephyrus to potentially make another big board, or at least another threatening minion, depending on what he wants to do, or an answer to a board on the other side. So maybe choose to hold on to the Zephyrus for the Nomi since he's used the flick.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, open deck list. That the Donde does have the Zephyrus, and that there's
there's a new priest card.
Hey, Natalie Celine.
There's a pretty good chance that it's gonna be online. So I think it's smart to play.
I disagree with that play, Donde. You should have went big, man. Go with the new card.
Go with the new card, kill 1 minion.
Yeah.
But you get an 8/12. You kill the Deathwing, you have an 8/12. So not too bad, but
I was gonna say, besides the fact you're dead to like 12 less for CMAC plus Divas, right?
Right.
Here's the M1.
I like this play. I like kind of going halfway on the.
Could he have backstabbed his own dude and made a 10 victory?
He could have.
He definitely
Yeah.
could. I guess
You've seen both Starfalls.
True. Yeah.
And the Oasis Searchers are gone, so maybe you're not too scared of that. You kind of rather go wide. I don't know. I mean, it also activates. It's your only lackey, so
Right. For your,
so it does activate the Tog if you do draw it.
17.
So Bloodlust does 22.
This is no. you don't have
13
enough
plus 3, 6,
mana.
9. Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. If you would backstab, which would activate the SI7 plus Eviscerate plus Zephyrus, I think. What's that card called? The Druid one.
Savage Roar. 2, 4,
Savager,
6,
I think that's
8.
exact lethal.
Because you had 13 plus 4 plus 6 is 19 plus 2, 4, 6, 8. 19 plus 8. No, that's not enough.
Wait, no, but you have another 2 from the SI, right?
Yeah, I did that. So you have Eviscerate is 4 plus the SI is 2 plus the board was 13. So that's 6 plus 13
Is 19.
is 19 plus the Savage Roar is 2, 4, 6, 8.
So wait, that's yeah. No, you're right.
No, it was not
right
quite
there.
lethal.
there's math, folks. That was math.
We
the
did
hard
it.
way.
The hard
Got
way.
there.
Now, not a great answer though
contradictions.
for this. You do have the Wrath and the Swipe to start dealing with some of this potentially. We'll see if maybe tries to get some more dragons on the board as well. The Wrath and the Swipe does deal with the Edwin and the 1/1 there.
In terms of bombs left in Rogue's deck, Rogue's not even like close to out of gas. There's still Galakron and Kronks and the Togwackle that Donde's going to have to navigate over the course of this game.
And Spear of the Shark, which can duplicate a lot of those battle cries, which can be pretty wacky.
That's a much needed taunt.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. This is what Donde was hoping for. Oh, and already played the spell, but still. Oh, wow. Lots of 4/12s. We're seeing just what the power can be. And maybe the reason I was sort of considering holding on to that, that Zephyrus rather than playing it. Because now you're looking at a pretty scary board and not a good answer. The tides have turned once again. And I think that's going to be a win for Donde with the Zephyrus being played a little bit early. Maybe could have cleared this up instead of making a Tyrion. With the Tyrion was powerful and it certainly could have pushed damage, but with Donde finding some good dragons, it's not going to be enough.
Some thick dragons there with the big health.
Oh yeah, they are.
They are
Actually, we're
thick.
going to see a tap on the Calicos.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you're just trying to remove enough damage so you don't die here.
Yeah, we do have the Shadow Step in deck, so there was a chance for the Shadow Step draw for this Zephyrus, but did not find it this time.
Looks like you're just going to SI7 the 8/8, plus probably put the 6/6 in and then just go all upstairs.
Smart choice, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's not out of it yet.
He's certainly not, I think, making the right read here. Not enough damage on the board to kill him, but I think with the Cenarius, it should be enough. If he's able to play it, it could be a full board.
Oh yeah, if Donde gets too many.
Yeah, and that,
actually,
that
this is
does
get the buff
make
too,
things
right?
awkward. Well, he can't play the Cenarius now, so let's see. Let's do some math.
12.
I guess he attacks with his Panther
18.
to lose it intentionally.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
then
but
is that enough?
That's not enough.
No,
Yeah,
it's not enough.
Damn.
you really wanted to be able to trade just one minion in the air.
I think you need to trade Hidden Oasis, maybe?
How curious.
Yeah, I think you just have to play it safe. You can do one trade Hidden Oasis. Yeah, you can double trade Hidden Oasis and Power of the Wild here just to make a little bit of a better board. And I think that's what we're gonna see.
I mean, of course, the responsible play is to Hidden Oasis your own face, but if you Hidden Oasis one of your creatures, then you get the value off that Night Scale Matriarch.
Yeah, and actually with the Anubis Sath, gonna have the two big taunts here just to be extra safe. And unless we see that shadow step off the top, we'll see if Donde realizes that and does make the trade. And he does. You know, he realizes, I don't know if you need to trade that one, but I guess
you need to trade that one. But
I guess at this point, there's not many ways or top decks that you lose. So I think, you know, better safe than sorry.
And so yeah,
that will be game 2 going to Donde. We saw that go like crazy different ways for both players, back and forth. But the Ysera just keeps Donde in it with some key draws and key dragons there.
So that was a nice move by CMac there, just letting nature take its course.
yeah. There's always the hope that maybe Donde disconnects and misses. Nope, found it.
Found it.
Found you.
He did do some trades last turn. Maybe he was considering that again.
Yep. Looking him in the eyes like, I'm gonna make you walk across this board and kill me. Not gonna be swayed. So now that brings our series to 1-1. The priest out, the druid out. Yeah, best of 3. All of a sudden, we find ourselves with 2 warriors and 2 rogues staring out of the dugouts right now.
what 2 games in 50 minutes?
Yep.
Something like that. Yeah. And one of these is a control warrior.
Turning out to be one of those nights, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What do they break here now with those remaining classes? I think.
Oh, interesting. So it's actually Donde's Highlander Rogue against CMac's Galakron Warrior.
Yeah.
So it's a question for the panel here. Do you prefer to see very good control long games or fast moving games such as like a Mech Paladin or Wild that gets in a roll?
I got a super cop-out answer, which is I find various aspects of both fascinating.
Nice.
I was gonna say I usually like longer, but not like to the point where both players are in like fatigue after playing, Elysiana. Not those kind, but
yeah.
I definitely like
Oh, there's Natalie. What is that? Oh, wow. Look at that. Those are some interesting choices. Natalie is back. Okay. I don't know how good that is in this matchup.
Go Glinda.
Gosh, I kind of want to grab Stargazer.
Yeah, I think it might be Luna. I mean, I feel like Luna and Rogue can be pretty powerful. There's a lot of low-cost stuff you can top deck. But we're going for the new card. Let's do it. And Natalie Celine.
I think that was an effort thing. It's like, I'll pick the middle one. Let's get the middle one.
Yeah, it's not bad into the potential Galakroned minions of CMac if he gets one big minion a turn and he plays the Natalie to kill one of them. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, the 8 mana, even if it's just like a Kronks, right? Just an 8 mana. What is that? An 8 mana 8/7. If it and it destroys a Kronks.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course there's that bundling effect when you bundle your effects together that just sort of increases in power in surprising ways.
A little awkward turn, but I think you just go face. You have the Devoted Maniac to call up next turn to clear this off, and I kind of like pushing the face damage as soon as possible.
So I think Blizzard's got to change that background on the weapon. The green, the buffed green on the yellow seems weird. Fix it, Blizzard. Fix it.
Yeah, fix it. Fix it.
I wonder if that means in future sets there's going to be a distinction between buffed hero attack versus weapon attack. I wonder if they're setting the ground.
Well, yeah, you can actually already see that with Galakron Warrior. If you play the weapon, the Ritual Chopper, it's like just 1, and then when you have the invoke, it's 4, but it's in green. As a 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, good question. Is it because they're actually planning on doing something with it in the future, or is it just consistency?
Right.
And we were talking a little bit about the sending face upstairs. CMac is has sent several invokes, 3 even invokes worth of damage into Donde already. And Donde's, one of the things Rogue is just notorious for, right, is their inability to recover their health once they've lost it.
So let's count how many turns this saber does.
That's
no
right.
damage.
Yeah. I do think now that I'm thinking about it, I think the change probably was due to Demon Hunter because they have just like essentially a buff that they do, and it was just a little weird, and maybe confusing for new players to have that, and also have Rogue sort of have that with the weapon, but it's like kind of different. They could be confused by that, as well as like Druid kind of doing something as well. It's a little bit different, but still does the 1 damage. I think they just wanted that distinction, maybe.
I mean, man, you're making a lot of sense right now, but I'm an old man, and I fear change.
What there is that thing there for?
Why?
Hold on. A minute. Are we about to see the Mana Saber attack?
Ooh, is it time?
It might. I mean, you can get the Miscreant down. It does mean your hand funky, but I don't mind it. You get the...
No way!
The first
there
attack.
We go.
Not the first Mana Saber, but the first Mana Saber attack.
Yeah, this series. Yes.
Well, what I want to say, this is like the 6th turn that it's been on board in its first attack.
There's a pretty good Scion Battle Rage coming up here, though, with the potential to double trade into the 1/4 for 3 draws, or potentially could use the Inner Rage if you want to get 4 draws. A little bit more awkward. Might want to save that, and now actually giving you good things to trade into, and you can Battle Rage or Inner Rage the 3/1 if you want. So.
That was.
I like the Scion killing the lackey and the 1/4 here, battle raging, seeing what you get.
Also, very interesting for that flyfish. No dragons in hand at the moment, but there is that lackey.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's the Death Rattle hand buff, dragon hand buff. Little Murloc guy. Do you ever go maximum greed on this draw, like Scion of Ruin into the 1/1 and the 1/4, so you get 4 draws off your battle rage?
I mean, I know I personally would. Is it correct? Maybe not, but...
So we'll see. I think one of the most powerful things this deck can do sometimes is get some big draws and just snowball from there. So I think this is the turn to do it. And we'll see. It does look like CMAC agrees. Let's get 4 new cards. We have Devoted Maniac. So if we do get Galakron, which we did, we are very close to get the full vote.
1 off? Yeah, 1 off.
Yeah, we're 1 off, 1 invoke off, and it has 3 in hand now to do it. Choosing to leave the Mana Saber up, I think there was an argument for using Inner Rage to do it, but with the Bloodsworn in hand, you kind of want to be able to combo that once you play your Galakron.
That's a very good flick.
Yeah, it's definitely the card you want to flick as the rogue here in this matchup. But
I think I like the Draconoid here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because that's gonna end up being a 9/9 taunt whenever the Little Murloc does.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be. I mean, 7/7's already tough to get through when all your removal as a warrior involves your face hitting stuff.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, I would assume that we're still just sending all of this invoke damage upstairs. Yeah, like we're just staying on the game plan of getting.
Yeah, those are definitely going to the dome. This 2/2 might trade in with that second Inner Rage drawn. There's a chance. Oh no, gonna do that. And actually, we did see the dragon get pulled, so that is now a 9/9 Draconid. That's gonna be hard to get through.
Oh my. Spirit of the Shark, the draw is has some potential a little bit later. If you combo Spirit of the Shark, this is probably not going to happen. But if you combo Spirit of the Shark with Natalie Celine, does she gain double the enemy minions health?
You know, this is the time to test it, right?
Yeah, we're learning all. This is the education stream.
You know, I don't. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like I can't name exactly what the interaction was, but I feel like I've seen a similar interaction and it works like that. So. But I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, the question is, like, it doesn't destroy the minion twice, so that's like the one hang-up I have. But I do agree that, you know, I feel like there was an interaction like that in the past.
Oh, no Leroy being found here is very unfortunate.
What's he doing in the Hall of Fame? Leroy, I need you back.
Yeah, definitely something that this deck is missing.
Yeah, and actually missing the Korokron as well. So it looks like a Town Crier, Risky Skipper, Armor Smith, and Bloodsworn Mercenary are draws.
Because I'm looking, when you give the double interage with the Bloodsworn, Leroy would have been, premium here.
Oh my gosh, that would have been enough to get through all the armor from that Druid last game. And all of a sudden, it seems like Donde. So it seems like we're getting to the point to where Donde has to decide. Like Donde knows a bunch of buffed cards are just sitting there on the right side of CmacComp's hand, and there's the possibility of Korokron elites. There's the possibility of I'm just looking at the list real quick. Possibility of the threatening ones. A big old Kronks is possible to come down. Obviously, we know that it's not there, but there's a lot in Donde's mind. Like this is
goes the Natalie Celine new car.
Man, I can't believe Donde didn't even play the Spirit of the Shark first, so we could have seen.
So we could see. Yep.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I think we definitely for CmacComp, you would have loved to see, like you were saying, that Korokron Elite come out of the Galakrond, be able to copy that with the Inner Rage and start doing some crazy stuff. But actually, I think with the double Inner Rage, would have definitely been able to have lethal here. So a little unfortunate, but still potential to draw it if he's able to survive. With this Armor Smith, I think there's a good shot. Can probably copy that here just to heal a bunch, as well as just create just this giant board with this 7/7 as well.
And we're probably going to see one of the side effects of one of the things you mentioned at the very top of the show is only a single copy of Battle Rage. So the draw and no copies on account of being rotated of the Acolyte of Drawing Acolyte of Pain.
Yeah. He was able to make it work pretty well this time around, even though he didn't have the draw. Was able to get a big draw from the one Battle Rage he does have.
It's also a lot of armor.
That's a lot of armor and a big board. Unfortunately, a Kronks would just take it out if he was Galakrond, but not yet. So not really a good answer unless we see the Zephyrus, and I don't see it in the hand for Donde. This is going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, what do you do if you're Donde? You just saw CmacComp heal for 28.
Yeah, you're not killing him anytime soon. So the question is, how do you deal with this board so you don't die before he runs out of cards, I think is now the strategy.
Yeah, I assume it's going to involve some combination of Pharaoh Cat, Faceless. Although we're seeing just one of these. This is one of the edge cases where Faceless Corruptor being nerfed from 5/4 to 4/4 just really stings because you're looking across the board at a whole lot of 5s. And just not not a great way. Goblin Lackey in conjunction with the Faceless Corruptor would allow you to clear one thing. But
yeah, I think he's gonna give this Albatross Rush probably. Yeah. Train into one of these at least, and then you can Faceless the Lackey, try to kill off a couple more things. There are enough minions that you can kill off a good amount with your trades. Get all the trades off. He does, and let's see, is that enough damage? We still have another Risky Skipper in the deck, so
the Armor Smith is back.
Did you miss
Armor Smith is back. It's pretty awkward, but we got there with the Kronks here. It's going to be enough. And CmacComp goes up 2-1, spotting the lethal there. Wow.
CmacComp's just casually ending on 40 health.
Yeah, down to 10. Swung from 10 to
real casual.
Yeah. And the two Acolytes of Pain rotating out, the only single copy of Battle Rage. It looks like the deck velocity, at least in that particular game. Obviously getting a 4 draw off your Battle Rage is excellent. Even getting a 2 draw is okay, right? 2 draws what you'd like. Anything above that is gravy salad, as they say. But there was only 8 cards left in CmacComp's deck by the end of that game, whereas I think Donde was sitting on 17 cards left in deck, something like that. So the velocity of that warrior, especially when it's able to invoke Galakrond and play it, is just looking strong still.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when the draw does happen well, and we did see it work out really well there, you can't be too upset. And we're actually going to see the Rogue mirror. I was interested to see if Donde tried to bring out the Warrior just to, maybe get it out there and try to get a win. But I do think it might be the tougher matchup for him into the Rogue. So we will see that potentially come out after this mirror. I'm kind of excited to see it because I haven't seen too much of the Highlander Warrior.
Yeah, and
But
we'll
we'll have to get through this match first. Yeah.
I'm looking back and forth. Are these the same 30 cards? These two rogues? They're very similar.
doubt
They're
it,
not exactly the same.
Let me see. I'm going to put them side by side for my own sake, just so I don't have to jump back and forth.
Oh no, Devoted Maniac for Donde, whereas a Bone Wraith for CMac.
Really
also
tricky.
got-
You wouldn't have Devoted Maniac.
And then it looks like the Spirit of the Shark also for Donde, whereas what is his name?
Yeah. So I mean, the deck isn't so much about invoking, but it is strange to not have 4 just to optimize getting at least 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and
we also see
Donde. No.
Yeah, we also see Bloodsail Flybooter for CMac that Donde doesn't have, I believe. So a little bit more early game. Couple of differences, but we'll see if they make a difference in this matchup. It looks like Donde kind of going for more of a early game with the Bloodsail Flybooter and those things, or did I do it backwards? I might have done it backwards.
I think, CMac has the Flybooter. But to your earlier point, Saku, these are the things I find interesting in control decks, where it's like you play 100 games with one card, you change that one card, you play another 100 games, and just see how it feels. I don't have the patience to do that, but I like watching the results of people who are skilled and patient enough to do that.
Which is not me, but yeah, I definitely can see that aspect of it for sure.
This is certainly a really powerful start for Donde here with the getting a non-rogue card off of the Pharaoh Cat, just really starting to snowball his, and that's a lot of dragons that we're going to see potentially.
I was just going to say, I think you should play the Draconic Lackey. Yes.
Twilight Drake is looking pretty good here, honestly. It's going to be pretty big next turn and something you can play. Probably going to go for the shield, but we'll see. I mean, it's something that is playable soon, which your hand is already starting to get pretty big. So,
as the representative of the people, Goose or Riot, Malagos or Riot. I mean, you're absolutely right. Twilight Drake was the correct play, but I feel like Malagos was the more
better. Better, it's called.
Was the Mo Beta one.
The Mo Beta.
Yeah.
Something to say is CMac is getting very low, very quickly.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. That Pharaoh Cat was so powerful. It was able to get his fence to be buffed, and then the Albatross also with the Micro Mummy buffing the board as well. It was just a lot of pressure. And there was.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think I just play the shield there.
He does have the coin to play the shield if he needs to, but probably looking for more powerful plays because you're really far behind on the board. And the shield's just not going to quite cut it. You're still looking at 8 damage next turn, so hoping for something that can answer, and we'll see.
My goodness, yeah, the amount of beatdown. This is kind of the same reaction I have when Priest finds itself able to beat somebody down, just like the early Albatross. Like you're saying, the activated underbelly. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I think you might be right though that it would have been a little bit better to play the shield first because maybe the lackey would have changed what you do there. But in this case, this is just going to be lethal. And Donde evens it up. We are going to see that warrior against this Highlander rogue, and I'm excited. I am excited for this one.
Gosh, Rogue is just really not hitting for CMac this series. All 3 losses have been this Rogue deck. Priest won on the first try, Warrior won on the first try, and now this Highlander Rogue's going to have to figure out how to get itself back together again up against this Highlander control Warrior.
Yeah, this is an interesting list. I'm curious to see how it does play out. It's definitely very like Highlander list. It's about curving out, but it doesn't have Galactron power turns like some of the other popular Highlander decks, excluding Mage, right? So it's we'll see. It's very much a control deck. We'll see if it has enough control to deal with all the power turns of the Rogue.
Yeah, and you want to talk about control. I mean, you want to talk about a deck that is content to grind you out. This one has Archivist Elysiana at the top end. So not only do you have to deal with Dr. Boom, Mad Genius coming down on, it looks like no coin, so 7 potentially, but then also, and all the value that generates, but you're not going to be able to fatigue. You're not going to be able to fatigue this warrior. That's just not, it's just not going to happen.
And going with the Highlander route, you have that Zephyrus and the Dragon Queen, to really do some power plays later on as well, or early on in some cases. But we'll see. Not too much going for either player. CMac probably hoping to win the early game, but not finding really the momentum you need.
Yeah, that's a really awkward draw. Some really powerful cards there. Obviously, Galakron and Togwaggle are some of the stronger cards that you have, but without, we'd like, hey, there's something you can play. Something
that is playable. Yeah, he was holding back that swing there to potentially be able to seal fate if he had to, but able to find a more influential turn here with the Albatross. Gonna deactivate the Zephyrus once it dies, so at least for a little bit. So we'll see what he decides to do here. Could try to go for the Zephyrus value now. Getting stuff that ramps you is pretty good in these Highlander decks where you're just trying to tempo out minions. In his case, just control. That extra mana can help do that, as well as a 3/2 on the board. It's not too bad. We'll see. I don't know if it will give you the cards you're looking for though here.
Yeah, I wonder how much it values.
The Holy Smite does deal with the minion now that it does 3 damage.
Yeah.
Donde has played more new priest cards than CMac, and he didn't even bring priest. Hashtag cast.
There's a yeah.
There's a couple of options now. The Seal Fate does let you play the lackey that you are getting if you choose to.
You know what? I'm kind of hoping that CMac plays the Mana Saber and doesn't attack with it again.
That's the theme of the night.
Yep.
With this play, though, we could see the Galakron come out on turn 7 potentially for two minions or two cards.
2 lackeys, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were talking a little bit about the late game threats that warrior can generate, and you want to talk about a card that just combos great with Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. This War Master Voon in the far right side of Donde's hand is the possibility of either duplicating the Dragon Queen herself or the 0-cost dragon to come off the battle cry. Just
also the Deathwing that is running in the deck. Yeah, Emerald Drake is in there. What other dragons are we looking at? That seems to be it. Just the Dragon Queen, the Deathwing, and the Ember Scale, but probably enough to warrant, even if you just copy one.
Right.
Not too shabby.
Plus you get one of the greatest on-play lines in the "Let's get this party started" guitar solo.
No dragons in the hand just yet. This mummy does clear this up pretty nice. Have a 3/1 up as well, which I think is probably no choosing to just saying it's gonna trade with the weapons, so not that impactful.
And plus, I can definitely understand not wanting to take 4.
So is there a reason why Donde didn't attack, or he didn't attack last time he had the weapon out? Sure.
Yeah. Interesting. He's is saving the weapon yet not using it to trade. I mean, I guess he's just if he had the option, like you were saying, attach to the weapon. Also, one thing you don't have to be nearly as afraid is big burst from the rogue, considering Leroy is gone now.
Right.
So
where'd he go? Where'd he go? He just went on vacation.
Yeah, he's coming back to Saku, don't worry.
Okay. Well, it's not me that's worried. I'm worried about my friend there. Just asking for a friend.
Right.
So this Molten Breath is going to be able to clear this out. You don't get the value off of the armor, but probably okay at this point in the game. Especially when they stopped you from doing anything with battle cries. Didn't really hurt you too much this turn. So.
14 mana card. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think there are some folks who, at least especially back in Archivist Elysiana's heyday, would not mind a nerf to 14 mana.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly.
Now with the praise Galakron, it might be a situation where you wait to play this this Galakron until you're fully invoked, because there's a good chance that there's a chance you can get there. You only have one more card, but you're about to draw 3 free ones next turn.
What do you think about shadow stepping the Cogwaggle? No,
it's worth a consideration, but I think maybe shadow stepping things like Dragon Queen or could be a little bit more influential.
Yeah, or Kronk later.
Or Kronks, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming on turn 8, and the Mana Saber has not come out yet.
It has ultra stealth right now.
Yeah.
It's
John Cena. That's what it is right now. You can't see me.
I just find it kind of funny that it hasn't been played yet it has the same amount of attacks by turn 8 as when it got played on turn 4 this game.
Yeah. I know we're giving. I think a previous episode of Friday Night Fights, I was giving Mana Saber a hard time. And actually, since then, I've turned my my tune a little bit. So I'm a fan now, but it has not been showing its strength this series. That's for sure.
I remember it was the episode where it actually did nothing, and every time it would do nothing, you would just make a comment, big surprise.
Yeah, so we're having another one of those, maybe when I'm on here. And there we duplicated that Deathwing. Very pretty, 2 golden Deathwing, that aspect.
Yep.
And the Goblin Lackey coming out lets you clear off this Tog. I mean, Donde's actually looking to be in a pretty good position with the answers he has for these power turns that are going to come out soon for CmaccompH.
All right.
Okay.
So box, Miscreant, Ziliax, and Underbelly Fence, the draws off that Wondrous Wand.
I've seen
Mana Saber.
I've definitely seen worse.
Yeah, I've certainly seen worse. I mean, that's a total of 5, 6, 7, 10 discounts. So, I mean, I'll take it.
Precision.
I've definitely seen games where I draw 2 albatrosses.
Yeah. Couple of backstabs at an albatross. It's like, come on!
On your wings of evil.
Ooh, Onyxia could give you another big board that the warrior has to deal with.
Does hurt a little bit getting the amalgam after you played your Ziliax.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Oops.
Too soon.
This Goblin Lackey can. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, just trying to keep the minions he has as healthy as possible, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely that can be very valuable in the future.
Another Draconic Lackey coming down. Let's see. Another Onyxia? Oh, not this time.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, the Evasive Worm does deal with a good amount of stuff, but this Deathwing is going to be able to clear off this board pretty decently. Actually, how does it work with the Ziliax? Does it leave it up? I assume it only attacks it once, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So, yeah, we'll stay alive, but that will be a 12-6 against the 3-2. Looks like he's just going to go with the skipper play here, though.
He could play... Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Oh, he's going to point it out.
Play the Deathwing. So this just get rid of the Divine Shield first.
No, it doesn't. It's after you play
it. It doesn't?
Yeah.
So
So
that's a little bit awkward. Yeah, realizing just made his Deathwing take an extra 1 damage, which actually could make a difference here with this Kobold Lackey. It lets it trade in or eviscerate. I guess would have dealt with it anyway. But
how about just the Evasive Worm?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Evasive Worm actually deals with this really well. It is kind of awkward not getting your Dragon Queen this turn, but he duplicated that Deathwing, so it's coming down again. You kind of want to prepare a board that maybe can answer that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what CmaccompH decides here.
Donde said, well, I feel like that should have worked the way I wanted it to.
Yeah. And just going to go for a big Ziliax here.
What if he's going to go 2 and then, eviscerate Kobold to kill off the 12-5?
Yeah, I could see that. We do know that the second Deathwing couldn't come down to answer, but
yeah,
it does leave up a bunch of 1/1s, 4 of them in this case, and deals 7 damage to it. So it'll be at 4 health with the Kobold Lackey down there.
And then at that point, the evasive worm's a very good answer.
Yeah.
Or you can either do evasive worm or just the 4/1/1s that will come out.
Yeah, I think maybe you just go for the 4/1/1s if that is the play that happens here,
Yeah.
just because you can get your Alex out next turn.
Exactly.
Just keep applying that pressure. He does have that Warpath Plague of Wrath to deal with that big turn, but if we do see the Shadow Step for the Alex, could spell trouble. If the Alex gives him good enough dragons to warrant that, I think. Anyway, it is still an 8/8, and you do like having 8/8 on the board.
And also the thing is, if your Alex baits out a removal, then you can probably drop an Ixia, and that will probably survive. It's just
Yeah,
looking
absolutely.
pretty awkward for Donde.
Yeah,
See,
is this a
that just has-
Deathwing Witchy? Do you ever just try to go big, Deathwing Witchy Lackey, and just try to get a real good, like use the Deathwing, you know, but it's going to take 8 damage over the course of just activating. So you have 12/4 against 4/1/1. So just go ahead and evolve it. Nope.
Looks like he's just gonna go Warpath, playing around with Warpath. I like that.
Wow.
actually.
Yeah, I like that, but now you're opening yourself up to this Dragon Queen turn that we're going to see come out right now.
Yeah.
You've gotten rid of your big answer to that. You do have the Omega active next turn, so if the dragons aren't that impressive, you can at least kill the Alex with it. But let's see. Let's see what these dragons look like.
But no, yeah, I think I kind of like your play with the Deathwing Evolve it. Oh, these are pretty good dragons.
Yeah. And I mean, CMAC did just see, you know, CMAC is well aware that this is a Highlander deck, so that's the Plague of Wrath gone. This evasive Draconid is going to have to be answered by an Omega Devastator or something like it. And,
The question is, does he chooses not to Shadow Step it?
Oh yeah.
No, you know that the Deathwing's in hand, and right now the Deathwing has a chance to clear off your big stuff. It's not great into this, but we'll see. Might actually have to Devastator this Draconid. No.
Oh, gonna go ahead and add.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
Zilliax
cool.
off the top lets you clear both of them off. That's a really powerful turn there.
That was
You
a
might
cool
just
play.
gonna have to flick this.
Yeah, Flick's not a bad answer. You know, they don't have duplicates of anything until they, I guess, play Elysiana eventually, but that's a long ways away. I think you kind of just want to get the tempo now. So I do like the Flick just to remove a minion here.
Or he could go Worm SI.
Yeah, Worm SI builds a stronger board. Yeah, with the SI off the top, I think
This guy's tough.
that's probably the play here.
Man, I feel like Donde just, even if Donde were to draw Dr. Boom Mad Genius, it's just CMAC has done a really good job of accounting for if Donde has Dr. Boom Mad Genius, how can I make him not feel comfortable enough to play it? Like every turn, just every single turn.
He hasn't had it just yet. We haven't seen Boom back in his powerful 7-mana spot, but
them all.
you know, definitely not giving him an opportunity to do that, even if he did have it. Let's see. I mean, Deathwing can clear this up, and you might just have to do that. There's a couple of options, though. Yeah, going to choose to go for the armor here before you get run out of these minions. And I think you shield block first if you're going to do that, but
oh, and actually that Super Collider
that
really just
would have been,
illustrates
yeah,
how good CMAX
that would have been good. I actually think if you had played the shield block first, you could have played the Super Collider to deal with the 3/3 and the 5/5 potential, or the 5/3 potentially, but not going to be able to do that just yet.
Zap coming in for CMAC. If CMAC stays on brand, this should be the most, you know, a high tempo. Oh, actually, just going to go ahead and Galakron to draw 2 cards. How's CMAC?
Interesting.
Only 11 cards left in deck. There's a pretty good chance one of these will be a 0-mana Kronx. Nope.
Yeah, not the powerful turn.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, with this hand, it would have been 4, so it is discounted.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised we didn't just see the Tiamat to clear. I guess it just dies to the Deathwing, the full board. So probably making that play, being aware that the Deathwing is still in hand, and sort of have to make a wide, awkward board for it rather than just a couple of minions that it trades into favorably.
Yeah, CmacC is doing all kinds of really good stuff here, attacking because he knows that one of the card draw engines that Donde has is the, weapons project Harrison Jones. So just
Mhm.
making sure to at least swing away some of the draw. Like you said, playing it, he knows. It's been interesting how Donde having Deathwing in his hand and how CmacC knowing that has just colored every single
Must
turn
burn
for
them
CmacC,
all.
right? CmacC always has to know the middle card is Deathwing. and
Yeah.
and that card on the far left has been there for quite a while. It might be Dr. Boom. I got to make this bad for both Deathwing and Dr. Boom. How do I do that?
Yeah, this is awkward. I mean, we might see that Deathwing come down just
Must burn them all.
face a scary enough board. So maybe just like clear off, this 2-1 and play the Deathwing, hoping you get a nice clear here with that 12 damage. I mean, a lot of the time, as long as you attack your minions later on, you get a good clear. Not getting exactly what we wanted, but getting most of the minions, leading up just to 3-3. Not too bad, but that does give CmacC the okay to start building another board, a scary board, hopefully here. He's got a lot of options. He's got Onyxia, he's got Tiamat, he's got that Kronks now off the top as well.
I think I agree with him here. I like the
Yeah.
Onyxia because
Yep.
you have the option next turn to Kronk to buff it all.
Yeah.
If it survives.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with this play 100%. You've seen the Warpath already that would have cleared a big chunk of this, and there's not too many options left besides maybe a Brawl in the Warrior deck, and we don't see that in the hand right now. So, yeah, I think this might be it. That might be the game there for CmacC to close it out in Game 5 of the series.
This is
I don't
gonna be-
see anything in the hand right now. Do you guys?
No, I'm trying to think if, is there an Archivist Elysiana Evolve play? Like you hit Colossus of the Moon off Archivist Elysiana Witchy Lackey? And even then, do you win that game or do you just not lose instantly if you do that? 'Cause it's not a high percentage, right? Like that's a long shot for a low chance
burn them all.
to and you don't
Yeah.
even have a lot of your power cards.
And you have to remember, he can double Kronks with the Shadow Step next turn to do some crazy things as well. Not that Donde knows that, but
Haste.
All right, I think at 16 health, I don't think there's anything that he can do here to stay alive. Even clearing off these 2 minions, you're back to 15 health, looking at 16 damage on the board. So even if there was nothing in the hand at all that did damage, this would go to CmacC, and well played by both players, and that will be the end of that match. Congratulations to CmacC. I think putting his team now tap last. We're up 4-1 coming into this match. Peacock beating Ridiculous Hat earlier this week before the Hall of Fame, I believe. And now CmacC after the Hall of Fame, taking out Donde 3-2 to bring tap last to an 8-3 lead, a really, really strong lead. A.E.O.N are going to need a big a couple of games coming up here. 3 more matches for them this weekend to try to come back and stay in the playoff race and make it to the finals. But Tap Last putting themselves in a great position here with CmacC winning. What a series. I mean, that was a long one. There's some control decks and stuff, a lot of Highlander shenanigans. So I enjoyed that one. But do we have time? I think we probably should get moving to the next match, right, Saku?
Well, we can
before
do. I just said ask CmacC if he can just kind of do a quick interview, and we can get him in here for a quick second.
Okay, perfect.
Bill's got to get ready, and SuperMurloc's ready to go too. So it's get those guys going. So I'll bring CmacC in.
Perfect. So until he gets here, let's talk about this match that we have coming up. It is the Legacy Finals. Oh, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. CmacC, congratulations, putting your team in a great position with a crazy 5-game series. How do you feel coming out of that?
Yeah, I feel great. Yeah, I think you summed it up. Your word, you summed it up pretty well.
well, thank you. I'd like to think that's part of my job. I do my best here, but it was quite a crazy series. We saw some interesting stuff happening. We learned a lot of things, and we were giving you a little bit of a hard time with your priest with 0 new cards, and actually Donde ended up playing more of the new priest cards than you did. He found the Holy Smite being buffed. He also found what's her name?
Celine.
Bills.
Yeah,
Celine. Yeah.
Celine, yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of funny little things happening there, and a lot of big swings, especially in the facing that druid. We saw that. So what was that? The druid and the rogue matchup was just so many swings back and forth.
Right.
Yeah, CMAC, talk to us a little bit about the rogue, because I mean, obviously your priest won first at bat, your warrior won first at bat. That rogue seemed like it was letting you down there a little bit. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, let's see. I net decked the rogue from Zabe from a cup.
I knew I recognized that.
Actually took me I learned during game 5 about 60% of the way that there are only 3 invokes, so I could have been playing my Galakron earlier, but it got the win, so I can't complain.
Yeah, that was something interesting. I must, I don't know if that's intentional or not. I know that the deck really does rely on. Usually, you just get 2 draws off the Galakron, but it is nice to have sort of 4 invokes just to make that a little bit more consistent. But it did work out okay in that last match, like you said. You sort of realized that, and we were actually talking about the 4th invoke, and I had forgotten, even though before the match we were talking about how you don't have the Devoted Maniac in your deck, but. Yeah, really, really interesting stuff. And did you expect sort of those lists from Donde? I know your priest had a lot more like anti-aggro tools with the bone rates and stuff that we've seen. So were you expecting a little bit more aggressive and just kind of were able to build a strong enough board with that priest? Or
I was not expecting control from Donde. I was expecting aggro, as you pointed out.
We noticed at the top of the show that you both you and Donde actually opted for the double mage ban. Tell me a little bit about the thought process behind both banning Donde's mage and what you thought about Donde banning your mage as well.
Yeah, so I guess we both brought greedy lineups, and the strongest greedy deck out there is mage, so I wasn't surprised by the outcome.
Had a question about your mana saber. He was so stealth for so long, he didn't even know what to do. Was there?
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Right, he was.
He was hidden. He was stealth.
Oh yeah, he was lurking in the bushes.
I didn't see him there. Yeah, good answer there. And I actually, looking at your priest deck again, I know we only saw the one match with it, but the list is really interesting. Can you tell me, did you build that yourself, or is that something sort of you hybridized? Because you're running Kronks and Galakron, but you cut the time rips. Again, probably the aggro, maybe those didn't make the cut. You put in the bone race, but also you don't have the water bears and some of the other kind of staples. You switched it up a little bit, and I'm interested, what you were thinking there.
Yeah, I think this is pretty similar to the list I used to hit Legend on Asia this month. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Water Bearer. Time rips are okay. I just decided to bring Kronks this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it did wonders for you. You're able to get the Galakron and play it on 7 to kill a 6/6 when that was his only minion. So definitely a pretty good situation this time around. Another thing that I was curious about before I think we probably should get moving here soon, but the warrior list, you cut the second battle rage. It did work out well this time. You were able to find it and get a good 4 draws out of it. But tell me a little bit about your build there. I know I have seen some lists with the the Ankar now, and the 1 Corcoran, and then the Rover as well. But usually you see that double battle rage, so I'm a little curious about that for you.
Yeah, because I feel like I didn't put that much thought in my warrior, because I think he was going to go aggro and he was going to ban it. So I think I just found HS replay and picked the best warrior against aggro and just took it in my lineup.
Fair enough. I was wondering about lost the acolytes and the Leroy, so the Corcoran makes sense, and the Ankar helps with the draw as well. But losing the battle rage, in my mind, I was like, oh, you just lost the double acolyte. Now you don't have a battle rage as well. But you were able to find the one you had and got a huge draw. So well played by you and Donde both. I think those are some crazy games. Yep. Any last thoughts? Maybe something you want to say to your team before we let you go and start talking about this upcoming match?
Yeah, shout out to my team. Special thanks to Heat Shock for role playing Donde the hour before. So yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
That's
Did
pretty
he
good.
did he say anything, or just how did he role play Donde? I'm just kind of curious if there was is there like a phrase that Donde says a lot that he was able to kind of
It's probably
weave
more
in
tears of Brady leaving, that kind of deal.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Let's go with that. Absolutely.
I like that. Thanks,
Great
C-Mac.
stuff.
Mayanadon talking code here.
Putting your team in a great position.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thanks for joining us,
Pros
C-Mac.
series, so
That's awesome.
congratulations there.
Yep.
Best of luck to you,
Thank you.
team. And
He's still talking, but he doesn't know
What?
he's talking yet. Hey, there he is. You're phasing in and out there.
Yeah, you're going a little robotic. But anyways, I believe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all good. So,
All right. Anyways.
so real quick, while Mayanadon.
sorry about that. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you
Hello?
go.
It's all good? Okay. I think I just hit a lag spike there.
Yeah.
I heard you guys fine, but for some reason you guys couldn't hear my end. But yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations again to CmacCompH, and good luck to both of those teams in the
Yeah.
rest of the series.
Apparently, everyone's having internet issues tonight.
Yep. So
The internet infrastructure's probably got a lot more load than it's used to.
Probably is.
So I got both bands right now. So what do you guys
Wait.
think, real quick, out of the lineups?
Hold on.
Give me the double mage again, because it's Druid Hunter Mage Warlock versus Druid Hunter Mage Rogue.
Incorrect.
Oh dang
Double
it!
Hunter.
So
Double
yeah,
Hunter.
I think Hunter or Druid could be the targets there. I do think Double Hunter makes sense though. So let's see what do we have
It
those
is Double
in yet?
Hunter.
Yes.
There we go. And I know we didn't have a chance to mention this before, but the match we have coming up is the Legacy Finals. It is the 4 seeds, BillSnyder, who had a 9-1 season so far for Dad Legend,
Incredible
against
season. Yep.
SuperMurloc, 4-6, fourth in inches. This is going to be a crazy, super awesome match. We have both Hunter bands, so we're left with Druid, Mage, and Rogue for BillSnyder, and Druid, Mage, and Warlock for SuperMurloc. So the differences there being that Druid, or the Rogue versus the Warlock. We'll see how that plays out here.
God, it's just so ridiculous that Bill has 422 PR and he's in the 4 seed.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a good series, but I'm looking forward to it. I might be a little biased, but I'll do my best not to show that on stream here. But yeah, go Dad Legend. Let's go.
All right. So I just told both players they could start. So Bill is going to be on the bottom. So our first is Spock-tate. Watch too much Star Trek.
Mhm.
And then we have SuperMurloc that's going to be on the top there.
Wait.
I think I need.
All right, so are the players ready to go? Are they queuing up here?
Yep.
Oh, they're
there
in.
now.
They're in. Who are we specking first?
Bill.
Bill.
So-
All right.
Do you want to give DollaBilz the...
Yeah. I got it.
Okay, double Hunter ban. I've definitely said on multiple occasions that if you don't ban Hunter, you better have a plan, or your plan better be give up a win to Hunter.
Oh, I got a spectate bug here. Let's see if it'll
Yeah.
let me in now.
Game you
Hey,
attempted
Sam.
to spectate may be full or already finished, or may have already been recently closed to spectators.
Nice.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Hooray!
I think
Let's see what happens.
I think Bill might have to restart his client after that.
Yeah, I know we were having issues when we were prepping earlier with the spec as well, so could be a client side on his end. Let's try again. Yeah, I will. Do we have those issues with SuperMurloc? Can we at least see his point of view here
Yeah,
for this match?
I'm able to get into SuperMurloc, so we might just have to tell and Bill to restart after this game.
Yeah, I wonder if turning on and off the spectate might help. worth a shot. If I don't want to distract the players during the match,
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
if we can.
Oh, a Treant Druid in from SuperMurloc, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna see some tokeny Treant Bob Ross action here coming out of SuperMurloc.
Okay. So SuperMurloc's going to be on the bottom for now.
Oh, I do believe this is the new board.
Oh, yeah,
this
sure
is the
is.
new board. We've got what looks like Token Druid here for SuperMurloc, and unclear what rogue yet for Corbin BillSnyder.
Oh, attacking the Shieldbreaker.
Yeah.
That's got to be another nod to the rotation of our good friend. I guess folks were actually starting to run Shieldbreaker anyway, but now that Spellbreaker is gone, I would not at all be surprised to see Shieldbreaker come into her own potentially for really board-focused strategies, especially if you're tired of getting absolutely clobbered by the Winged Guardian.
Mm.
So it looks like off the mulligan, BillSnyder has 2 cards that he's kept, which always makes me suspicious that one of them might be Edwin Van Cleef. Whenever I'm playing against a rogue and they keep a non-zero number of cards, I'm almost convinced that one of them is Edwin Van Cleef.
Well, one of them was a Seal Fate.
Okay, one of them was... So the other one's definitely an Edwin Van Cleef.
Wow, and a really slow start here for SuperMurloc for the Token Druid. I'm sure Bill must be thinking this isn't big, and now he's gonna probably be surprised here. Gonna be able to get a really good draw turn, and to follow it up with a Garden Gnome. So we'll see if Bill can answer this pretty strong couple turns that are coming up here.
Yeah, I was half expecting from SuperMurloc the Garden Gnome to come down, and then for what SuperMurloc did just now to happen next turn. But SuperMurloc instead going to go ahead and save the Garden Gnome for a potential higher, trying to use it to reload maybe at some other time, sometime in the future. All right, so the evolution effect is going to turn this Pharaoh Cat into a Sunreaver Spy. And SuperMurloc, of course, playing one of those super board-centric decks where BillSnyder knows well 100% SuperMurloc's playing Treants now. So BillSnyder is very, very, very interested in making sure that no Treants ever stick to the board at any point.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No souls. Yeah.
Big card Garden Gnome is.
Yeah, and when Garden Gnome first was printed, I was trying to fit her into 100% of my Druid decks. Just Quest Druid? I can fit a Garden Gnome in there for sure. Because, a turn like this, 4 mana, make a 6/7, that's some board presence right here.
Yeah, that's one of the most powerful. When the Garden Gnome's active, oh man, on 4, that just feels so good as a Token Druid.
So now BillSnyder forced to face down. And then it also forces you into these sort of awkward situations where you've already seen one of the aeroponics come out, so you're not as worried about necessarily the next discounted aeroponics. And you have to know that every single treant you destroy is just powering up the Mulch Muncher. When you're trying to decide between, the gnome herself versus, dendrologists or any other miscellaneous kind of folks you might have hanging out.
Yeah, certainly. And that's quite a good draw off the Pharaoh Cat for BillSnyder, able to clear off this board. That's like exactly what you want as the rogue in this situation. You want to be able to just keep clearing off the boards and eventually just make something too big for SuperMurloc to deal with. We'll see how that does go, though, with a bunch of powerful turns coming up for SuperMurloc. Has the Force of Nature, has the Forest Aid coming up in a couple turns. And that Shieldbreaker is going to be interesting. See if that does come into play later on.
Yeah, and we saw actually in the last game that these rogues, of course, they're rogues not playing with 30 cards, right? Rogues playing with 40, 50, 60 cards, and a lot of them can't be targeted taunt dragons, right? A lot of them are regular taunt dragons. And so there's still a pretty good chance that SuperMurloc's going to be able to potentially even sneak a shield, through the use of the Shieldbreaker, sneak a lethal attack through even a Kronk's 8/8 reanimated dragon or something like that.
Yeah. Murloc's playing very scared of the.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Going for that play rather than building a board with the Force of Nature. I guess it lets you clear something off, but I think he's playing a little bit too scared here.
Yeah, I think his biggest thing was trying to play around the God, why can I not think of cards tonight? Togwaggle.
The thing on the thing with the thing.
Yeah. I think he was trying to play around Heist Variant Togwaggle there by pulling up the Lancer.
Yeah, this Mulch Muncher's going to do a good job clearing this up.
So I did let Bill know we're having trouble spectating, so he'll address it after the game there.
All right.
So BillSnyder currently sitting on 3 invokes for his particular flavor of Galakron. I've not seen his deck list specifically, but we did just talk to CMAC, who actually only runs 3 invokes. So I don't know if BillSnyder's on that train necessarily, or if I haven't seen any duplicate cards come out of BillSnyder yet either. So it's still possible that this is some manner of Highlander Galakron rogue.
Yeah, we have.
This the our neck.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, like, on one hand we haven't seen any duplicates, but on the other hand we haven't seen any, like, cards that would only be in a Highlander deck and not in a regular one. So I feel like it's kind of hard to make a call.
True, very true. Yeah, we haven't seen any of the.
Oh, and there is that Togwell. I do think also 3 invokes, so the chances of that this early in the Highlander is pretty low, but it certainly is possible.
Also, man, Murloc had a good read there then to play around the Togwaggle for that long.
Right.
Yeah, now I think it's just play that Forest Aid, unless he wants to try to get the buff first with the Goru and play next turn as 3/3s, but that just gives BillSnyder another turn. We don't know if the flick's in hand, but it could be coming out soon, and that would deal with at least one of the Forest Aids to start.
Wondrous Wand. Yeah.
See if Leroy comes out.
Practice your skill.
Oh, that's 4 invokes. And that's
That'll
the second
be
shield
4
of Galakron.
invokes, and
Yeah.
we don't know. I mean, there could be Galakron in the hand now, so this does appear to be just regular Galakron.
Dark in the sky.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
And there it is. We are going to see a big turn here.
Gosh, 9 mana turn. BillSnyder has drawn
Oh, wow.
7 0-mana cards this turn.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, paying 3 mana to draw 7 0-mana cards, that seems, I don't know.
I'm getting Edwin coming out.
Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, if an Edwin comes out here, I think it's all but done, and it looks like it could be setting it up. It did get a couple of weaker invokes there, but let's see what we're looking at. That is a lot of stuff in one turn. We have a lot of stuff happening.
A 43-43 Edwin. Oh my god.
There it is. Oh my god.
Ouch.
Wow. And I think SuperMurloc playing a little too slow. I don't think there's anything he can do about this. He can silence that 7/7 if he wants, and he can do that all night, but it's not going to do quite enough here. I don't know if there's a Druid spell you can try to find with this Force of Nature and the Dendrologist for, 2 mana? I don't know what spell can save you there. So
yeah, he needs to discover a the 4 mana 2/2 that lets you silence something that nobody plays anymore because it's not really viable. The Keeper of the Grove.
Yeah. Even at that point, I think you're still have lethal damage.
Yeah, you're still
coming
dead.
at you at that point.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's see, 16 plus 24 is an unbelievable amount plus an additional 5. It's
wow.
Where you would
think,
need you need odd warrior levels of armor and life to survive an onslaught like this.
God, like
Time waits for no one.
well, like I definitely think Murloc could have played faster here, but I don't know if there's anything he could have really done here.
I mean, there was a potential for him to have Forest Aid last turn instead of the Goru, and he would have had a little bit more of a board. I don't think he would have had enough damage with the Shieldbreaker and Savage Roar, but there were a couple turns where he just taken a little too long to develop this board and gave BillSnyder an option there, and was able to capitalize with that Togwaggle into a fully invoked Galakron and just drawing what was that, a total of 7 free cards, and playing a giant Edwin. Yeah, Rogue is still good when it can do things like that, turns out.
Yeah, it's games like that that's like, man, when Rogue hits, it hits. it hits like a prize fighter.
Certainly does.
So Bill is just restarting right now, guys. So we're waiting for him to. He just had to get permission from Super to get things rolling.
All right, yeah.
But should be back on in 2 seconds.
And are we going to return to specking?
We're gonna do SuperMurloc first. For to spectate. Everything's good though. So Bill's got his lineup and everything's ready to go.
All right, looks like they are back in the challenge screen already. Very quick turnaround. Hopefully, we're good to spec BillSnyder this time around. We shall see in just a moment once they jump in. What do you guys think they're going to play this time around? For BillSnyder, he's got the mage and the druid left.
Mage.
And then, okay.
I think mage myself. But
yeah, I could see that coming out as well.
I'm interested to see his druid build, just to be the counterpoint. You know, druid. Obviously there's a possibility of a druid mirror. There's the possibility of druid just seems like one of those decks, and we got to see it in the last series in like druid versus rogue, where druid can just, especially if it's built a little slower, right? If it's a little greedier, there's a lot of different tools you can flex in there if you're feeling like. And of course, I'm assuming a quest druid, even in big and druid is a little bit more one note, I would say. But quest druid seems like it has some room to adjust your strategy based on what you're expecting. And it seems like I'm noticing a lot of people have just been, what would you say, like taking advantage of that flexibility, right? You can cheat it a little more defensively if you expect to fight a lot of tokeny stuff. But you can also, just like we saw Donde do, you can cheat it more greedy. You know, Zephyrus and Nomi and stuff like that.
So it is druid versus mage. Yeah.
So this is going to be the druid versus the mage, and the hand from Bill is looking pretty good. We've got the Embiggen already, which is something that you don't mind playing into the mage because you don't need that early tempo as much. You're not going to fall too far behind, and that strength in numbers. I mean, that card is absolutely insane for this deck.
Yep, strike everything I just said. It's Embiggen.
It is Embiggen. Yeah, it is Embiggen this time around. We've seen Token, we've seen Quest tonight, now we've seen Embiggen. So every flavor of Druid in one night. I'll take it. I mean, is there another flavor of Druid we're missing? Is there something,
Taunt
spicy I don't know about?
Taunt Druid, we haven't seen.
Cycle Druid, maybe? Nomi?
Nomi Druid, hit.
And man, I've heard several people say that Embiggen Druid should not be called Embiggen Druid. It should be called Side Quest Druid, because just having it on one, and the ability to then ramp into stuff. I'm really interested to see when BillSnyder chooses to play this Embiggen, because obviously going to be able to ramp this turn, has a turn 2 and a turn 3 play, has a turn 3 and a turn 4 play potentially.
Yeah.
So, actually going to hold it. I expected to see the Embiggen is where I was going with that.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see it there in this matchup. I like to kind of get big things sooner, and we do see Giggling Inventor, another card that was returned back to a more reasonable state. I think used to be 5, now pushed to 7, back to 6. So definitely some potential there at 6. It has options with things like Conj can now be played. Now that Conj was pushed to 4, you can actually play the 2 together again. It is turn 10, but it is something that could be a pretty powerful turn. Now we see the Embiggen come out, feeling pretty satisfied with the options in the hand.
All right, so
I like this. This sets up for strength in numbers to pull a minion next turn. So if we don't see a freeze for SuperMurloc or something to kind of freeze and Doomsayer, this could start getting difficult.
Yeah, it looks like SuperMurloc is interested in battling for board, kind of straight up, potentially hovering over that Twilight Drake. It would come down as a really big, come out as a 4/8. This next turn from BillSnyder is going to be explosive.
Yeah, he does have a lot of powerful cards for SuperMurloc. In the hand, so definitely a lot of potential later on. But go ahead, sorry, Tim.
I'm just gonna say, bottom line is I don't know what else he can really even do here. Seems very clunky. Oh man, he needs like a Frost Nova right now.
Yeah, he's nowhere close to Tortolan Pilgrim. He's a little shy of Giggling Inventor. Even post adjustment, Zephyr's the Great is live.
Oh my god.
Is this
What can that
For 3 mana,
Frost Nova? It'll give you a Frost
Frost
Nova.
Nova to
it
stall
will
for a
give
turn?
you the Frost Nova, but you can't combine it with the Doomsayer this time. But you do have the Giggling to follow up next turn.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, this might be a series of really scrappy turns for Super Murloc. Zephyr's Frost Nova, Giggling Inventor, Tiamat in Turbo Defense mode. Like just a bunch of keeping your hands, guard your head.
and then even so, Giggling Inventor is just gonna get wrecked by the swipe.
It
didn't give.
And it didn't give him the Frost Nova, not considering this up for the threat. The Shadow Madness does deal with a good amount. You can clear off the 3/3 and a 5/1, which might be the choice here. Could also clear out the 7/6 if you choose to trade the 4/3 in, but I feel like that can't be the optimal play. And actually going to choose to do that. Interesting. And scared of the bigger thing. You are able to ping off this 5/1 in a little bit, but yeah, the strength of numbers number 2 coming down. Going to be able to clear off the Zephyrus and just start hitting the face.
I wonder if Shadow Madness hadn't been buffed to 3 mana, if Super Murloc would have got that Frost Nova. I wonder if he just got completely. I wonder if he just really caught the short end of that potential.
Yeah, it's
potential
curious,
stick there.
Looks like he's gonna risk the Keysmith looking for a Flame Ward here.
Oh wow, and he does not find it. That is, I mean, that's just lethal. Even I mean, the counterspell does prevent it. He doesn't have quite enough mana to play both.
Yeah.
So we do see the splitting image actually. So he's actually gonna potentially die here. We'll see if BillSnyder respects the Flame Ward here or just tries to go for lethal. I think we will see him respect it. He does have the Evasive Worm to attack this Doomsayer. It's going to duplicate itself, but you know, you can deal with both halves and still be able to damage the face a little bit. So we'll see what he decides to do here. He's going for it. He's found it. So he called the bluff. He gets it. It's 1 card total. Now he's going to have to decide, is this the counterspell? He did not choose the counterspell, and that is game 2 going off to BillSnyder with that Ambiguous Druid. Only the Mage remaining for BillSnyder to take out the Mage, Druid, and Warlock of Super Murloc. So Super Murloc's going to have to try to get the reverse sweep here on the Mage. We'll see if he's able to do it.
Gosh, what a cool. I mean, I really like that play from Super Murloc. I mean, obviously, the counterspell would have technically saved his life for that turn, but just really trying to sell the bluff of the Flame Ward to really try to make, you know, trying to find a way to get an extra turn that could potentially get him in a position where he gets to start doing some proactive stuff. You know, he had Giggling Inventor, Tiamat, Power Creation, like his power defensive tools were on their way. Obviously, we could see Double Swipe was going to kill him, but really, you could see like Super Murloc trying to figure out a way to win the game, right? Like trying to find a way to win.
Yeah, certainly vying for trying to win rather than you know, not lose there. Although sometimes as a Mage, you have to just try to not lose until you get crazy turns.
True.
Not able to do it there. Yeah, with the Mage, it's a little unique. Sometimes you kind of have to play the not lose game for a little bit. But they're going for the 1 out of, I don't even know how many secrets we have right now. You do see 3, but was able to find that 1 and then not choosing the counter spell to deal with that, you know, swipe, which is, I think, the only card that could have been lethal there for BillSnyder. So
I mean, to be fair, it's also unfortunate that he missed with Vaporize and Ice Barrier as well.
Yeah, those both would have kept him alive as well. Actually, the Vaporize, I think, would that have been enough? He did go with the 5/1 first, right? So it would have been it would have been enough there. Yeah. And this does look like a Galakrond Zoo lock. We did see Galakrond there earlier, so
it's a very strong opener from Murloc.
Yeah, very, very strong start here.
I'm interested to see. I mean, Super Murloc must think that his Zoo, because Super Murloc must know that BillSnyder's Mage is a Highlander Mage. So I'm interested to see what Super Murloc has going in this Zoo list.
Yeah, this Doomsayer is going to do a lot of work, though, unless there's a spell that you can get here that saves you. I don't know what spell you can get as a As a Warlock, I guess it would have to be
Soulfire?
Soulfire. Yeah, it would have to be Soulfire from. It's got 2 chances with these lackeys.
Yeah.
Might
I
have
mean,
to
I
go
definitely-
for it.
Well, like I feel like it's worth going for because even if you miss
So
twice,
many
it's it's worth it to lose a few
possibilities.
once to draw their spells. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you definitely go for 1 at least, but choosing not to, choosing to just build the hand a little bit more. You have a good amount of reload, a lot of drops, and these Sea Giants if you ever get an opportunity to play them. But
No,
now you've given the initiative to BillSnyder, so
All right.
Theme of the night, their mana saver.
I was gonna say, can we have an over under to how long it takes him to attack with it?
well, I think it's going to be just 1 turn if he draws a big. Actually, he needs a dragon and a big spell here, but it might be. Oh, Rain of Fire. I don't know about that one.
That is new card, right?
Yeah.
Like Corruption's not good, but maybe into the Mage, it's like okay if he plays like a big Tiamat soon. You know, maybe I don't have a good way to deal with it, and the Corruption could give you an option.
Oh, Karta Defender is another just a really strong defensive tool in this particular. I mean, one of the upsides and downsides of Highlander, right, is you get to play only one copy, but of all the good stuff, you get to.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is gonna open up the Sea Giant to be played here. Not really much that he could do there. No spell for the Dragon Caster to be worth it, or a Dragon for the Malygos to potentially get something good. But a Dragon draw could find a big freeze from the Malygos or a couple other options. You also have the Tiamat probably coming down next turn.
So many possibilities.
Gosh,
I think
Eggs and Giant.
Like,
yeah, sorry.
oh, you can even play a lackey too.
True.
Lackey Egg Giant.
Yeah, you can lackey and play a Battle Mage if you want, as well.
So he's just gonna play the Giant.
Yeah, interesting. And actually going for the Corruption on the Bone Rate, that's an interesting choice. I think there's going to be a lot more threatening things. I mean, yeah, the Dragon Guys are come down, but I think we're going to see this Tiamat come out here. I think the Tiamat makes a good amount of sense. You can probably go with a couple of options here. You can go Rush Wind Fury, Rush Divine Shield, just to trade into the 8/8 and make it lock later.
Yeah.
Or kill the 3/2 and keep a 6/6 up. There's a couple of options here.
Yeah, what do you think? Can I sell you on Rush Wind Fury? To just bring the overall level of nuggets down, just really reduce the nugget count.
Yeah, I like that a lot. As something I certainly was thinking about. I think, and actually going for that. And there's a Plague of Flames. I mean, certainly a powerful card, but not something you want to play into this board.
Yeah. This Faceless Corruptor is looking very strong here.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're going to see.
Man, cards have been nasty.
Dark Possession?
Yeah.
Actually,
bombs.
I don't like not playing the Corruptor here.
Yeah, I think it's a little slow, and it lets your Giant be traded off here next turn.
Exactly, your Giant's just dead now, which is never good. No,
He does get to play the second Giant, but and there's the Giggling Inventor. We were talking about that in a previous matchup, and not a bad draw here. Gonna make it pretty awkward to get through.
It's funny because we were laughing earlier about the taking the deal 1 to all minions, but that would not be bad here.
Yeah, and actually, leading the Sea Giant up, just saying I'd rather get some good trades and value and keep this alive as long as possible, and not a bad option here.
I mean, surely this turn we're going to see the Faceless Corruptor hit the board, right? Whether it's a
yeah, you can trade the
nudge, right?
Kick in. Yeah.
It's really just what do you want to pair it with, I would assume. Does Grim Rally change it? This does give you the option to Scarab Egg Grim Rally if you want to. Yeah, Faceless Corruptor just seems too good.
Yeah, and suddenly though, if your board is dealt with here, this is like your final big board right now. I think BillSnyder's going to be in a good position, but you are threatening a ton here, and it's going to be very hard to get through.
And
all of this.
This Dragon Caster has just been marooned over there on the left side of BillSnyder's hand for turn after turn. Not able to find, Blizzard, Flame Strike, Frost
Puzzle box.
like just.
Yeah, I think we will see that book come down just to see if there's any other options. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
bad
Drawing.
one.
Those are two bad ones to pull there.
Ouchie, mama.
You can play this card tut and clear off some of this just to stay safe. They don't run too many answers for this, but you can clear off the 4-3 and the 8-2, and just hope you find an answer for this big sea giant next turn.
All right, so
Gonna be able to build a really powerful board here, and you did just see the Blizzard disappear. So Fiendish Rites, Dragonblight Cultist, Grim Route. I mean, there's like a lot of options here to make a very powerful board.
Yeah, and the Scarab Egg all of a sudden gains the ability to attack when buffed by Fiendish Rites. It's funny, SuperMurloc would not mind having a Mana Saber right now, because if he could have 9 mana, then he could be able to do. He could have his cake, eat it as well, and then buff his cake on top of all of that.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna see this Fiendish Rites Grim Rally to keep the Faceless Corruptor alive here into the trade.
I want to buff my cake and eat it too, man.
Could you imagine if the Blizzard was available following this up? I mean,
oh my gosh! Yeah.
Unfortunately, we lost it, but Malagos now is active, so could find a spell there.
Yeah. He's just gonna need a Marathon spell off.
So a Frost Nova slow.
Oh, and Reno, how much damage is that?
14 health.
It's not enough.
Definitely not enough.
Nova.
And there's the Nova. Does let you potentially have an option to clear this with the Reno next turn. So I like the Nova. You can ping off the something here, or start chipping away at the board. You have the 2 damage to deal with something else next turn, along with the Reno. There's a chance he could stabilize here.
All right. So now, if you're SuperMurloc, you have to decide how heavily you'd like to invest into, because the Scarab Egg Evil Genius seems like a pretty good opportunity to both generate a token or 2. You're not gonna get maximum value off your Scarab Egg itself, but at least give you a couple of lackeys to potentially work with. Or you can just definitely build up this turn, right? Just life tap and pass.
Yeah.
Oh,
and here comes the Galakron, or the Kronks. To draw the Galakron, you have 2 invokes with it, so I think probably enough to play it next turn if your board does get dealt with. And yeah, we'll see the draw first. Yeah, you could combo something with this Dragon Caster for an answer. Yeah, just gonna go for the Reno and hope that the Sea Giant or the Kronks die here, at least one of them. And one off to kill, and that'll be it. That is a game going to SuperMurloc, getting the win with the Warlock into the Mage. Very close there for Bill to come back, but not quite enough. So now gonna have to find the win with the Mage into the Token Druid or the Mirror. Let's see what we see next. I think we'll probably see the Token Druid just to leave the Mirror for last, but
can we talk about that just miserable Book of Specters for a second? Just a Book of Specters was 2 mana, draw 1, discard your Blizzard, and discard your Power of Creation.
Yeah, 2 things that you were just holding on this Dragoncaster for so long to try to get. And we are seeing SuperMurloc on the Token Druid.
How to kill yourself without injuring yourself.
Right. Tripping over your library books. Just whoa. And so now SuperMurloc, I'm sure, would like to have an explosive start, if at all possible. And I would expect that SuperMurloc is probably not going to be playing this particular. Oh, well, look at that. The 1 into 2 into 3.
1, 2, 3 is definitely what you want to see as SuperMurloc here. And not anything too strong for BillSnyder just yet. Although a lot of options later on if you get some mana cheating at some point. All of those spells you would have liked to see last game, now in the hand without the Dragoncaster.
Oh, sorry, we're late, boss. What's going on?
You were asking for us?
I thought we were playing against a Warlock. Oh.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Savagery,
Interesting.
Reinforcements, Dreamway Guardians. I'm leaning Dreamway Guardians myself.
I
But,
agree.
I think
But
there's probably an argument for Reinforcements. It's just you can sneak it in a little easier. You got the Soul of the Forest. Okay, yeah, Dreamway Guardians is the way I was.
No,
Into the other one.
I was gonna say I don't think there's an argument for the savagery.
All right. Well,
Correct.
there's the Reno, which I think is the way you win as the mage here. If you can get that Reno out in a board that it can actually deal with early enough, it can be game winning. But this board is slowly getting out of hand.
Yeah, this I don't see SuperMurloc taking his foot off the gas at any point.
Yeah.
Landscaping going to come down, and now SuperMurloc, you know, if SuperMurloc would happen to hit one of his aeroponics, for example, that's an amazing 0 mana draw 2.
Actually, the Soul of the Forest could be quite powerful this turn now that he's got 4 minions. I don't know that it's going to get any better than this, but we'll see if he's greedy and goes for the Dreamway Guardians and the Acorn Bear here.
Looks like he is.
He's definitely thinking about it.
I definitely do Soul.
I agree. But I mean, like,
yeah, I mean,
well, look, like I can see it on his point of view. Your opponent's only on 4. You're not really that scared.
yeah, he's got the coin, but it's still a turn away from the Reno. So you definitely see that.
Turn away from Reno. Turn away from being able to cheat out a Blizzard or a Flame Strike.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, that's little greedy perhaps, but it looks like SuperMurloc is going to be richly rewarded by being able to throw this Acorn Bear and then Soul of the Forest. Surely you just Acorn Bear Soul of the Forest, because it's definitely not going to be better than this. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets. The board will be dealt with, but it's just going to come back as another board of 2/2s, which actually is stronger than the current board.
Right. Yeah, that's right. If BillSnyder decides to, Blizzard or Flame Strike this board, it comes back stronger, as SuperMurloc built his own Forest Aid for cheaper.
Sounds like he's gonna giggle eventually.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be able to trade off some of these 1 health minions to get a better
no, it's not.
Reno, but
No,
it's definitely not. And this is slowly getting out of hand for BillSnyder, and I think we're going to go to a Game 5 this series.
Yeah, now SuperMurloc, sitting with 6 health, is going to go ahead and commit. It looks like only 1/2 of the Blessing of Ancients, so they use the hero power to nudge off some of these Divine Shields.
Or it looks like he's gonna trade and then use it on the back half.
Okay.
Use the Ancients on the back half. I don't.
This lets him buff up a Squirrel also if he wants to.
Yeah. You're a lot weaker against Reno now, though.
I mean, it's still pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that.
Choosing not to play the last minion, I think, just for fear of a full freeze, but...
And it looks like SuperMurloc also respecting one of those combos you were talking about last game, where the Conjurer is calling on the 6 mana.
All right, let's see if he's able to get it and does not find it. But Instapix, we'll see if that does play some mind games there for him. But he's going to have plenty of damage, and even with the blessing of Ancients, he'll be safe to attack no matter what. But finding the counter spell, and that is game 4 going to SuperMurloc. We are tied at 2-2 now. It is going to be the Mage Mirror that determines it all.
And this is one of those matchups that can degenerate into total nonsense, with like Reno's going off, like Reno the Magnificent, but also Reno the Machine Gunner, both going off. The possibility of Alex Straza, multiple Malagoses, multiple Malagese.
Yeah.
Lots of aspects of magic flying around. They're blue.
Here we go. Game 5.
All right. Game 5, Mage Mirror.
It is on.
Let's see what happens.
I wish.
Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh.
All right.
Zephyrus in
Both
hand
players
for
with
both.
Zephyrus, both players with Snip Snap. We do have the Reno in one hand and not in the other, but we'll see what these players decide to keep. And just keeping the Reno, and I think I like that play. You kind of just you want to ramp a little bit with the Zephyrus. Both players now have the Dragoncaster as well.
Coin book? No?
And I think we will see the Zephyrus for the ramp here. There we go, the Wild Growth. And I had been hearing some interesting stuff about Zephyrus doing some weird stuff, but That looked pretty normal to me.
And Shadow Madness.
Oh, and there goes
Oh my
one,
gosh.
two. Two spells gone. Choosing not to play the Zephyrus to answer this, I think that's a misplay. I think you want to do the same thing. I mean, that's just the mage way to do things is Wild Growth if you can on 3. It's just so powerful. And we've got this Reno, we've got this Yogg box, the Dragon Caster in hand.
Yeah, that to me indicates that SuperMurloc is saving Zephyrs for turn 10 plus. That if you're not going to play it, like you're saying, if you're not going to play it for the ramp, then that means you're saving it for either a finishing blow or a dealing with a board you can't. Yeah, because if I would be extremely surprised if SuperMurloc plays out this Zephyrs before turn, say 15 or something like that with this particular setup.
Yeah, interesting choice to keep it if you're not going to play it like that. But
oh yeah, in the opening hand, yeah. Arcane Intellect. So BillSnyder is going to. So that interestingly, this Zephyrus has not only ramped, but it's also gotten in for 6 damage now. Just
doing some work here and drawing quite a few powerful cards there. No dragon just yet, so this Dragon Caster is not active, but still a couple of options. There's the other Reno and the Power of Creation with the Dragon Caster. So we will see that next turn for SuperMurloc, a coin Dragon Caster into the Power of Creation potentially, which could be a very, very powerful play.
And BillSnyder going to answer these two VW microbots with 2 snip snaps of his own. Look upon your maker and despair. Microbots.
And I think here we go. Yeah, it's going to be the Dragon Caster into Power Creation. It's going to come down to, I think, what this draws here potentially. Although with the Dragon draw, we do have the puzzle box to answer for BillSnyder if he does find one.
Oh man, a pair of Sunwalkers.
Really good.
Yeah.
Pair of Sunwalkers is pretty good.
You think there's any consideration for that Harpy? Just to possibly.
And there's a dragon off the top, so
dang.
could go for the puzzle box if he chooses to. Alternatively, the Reno does 10, which can deal with quite a good amount of the board. We're looking at those are effectively 6 damage on the Sunwalkers, so 12, 14, 18.
So you just play
Tiamat with Rush Wind Fury also deals with these pretty well with the double trades if you choose to do that, and I think that's what we're going to see.
Not gonna lie, I did find that let me see it on the box.
That's right.
There's still plenty of time for that. Oh, and there's that Luna's could have maybe gotten that out, but played the Power Creation last turn, which I think probably the right play, but now a little bit weaker of a turn here.
And so the Arcane Keysmith, the card that SuperMurloc is reaching for potentially to try and find a way that doesn't involve him trading off all of his guys to try and, because actually since he's not able to he'll have to use all of his attacks and a ping to prevent BillSnyder from doing any Ziliax magnetic shenanigans. Which, okay, yeah, that's what
and it looks like he's choosing to do that. That is, I mean, pretty low tempo here, so I don't think Bill's going to be too upset about it. Has the Reno to answer this board with the ping to fully clear it off, which I think is a pretty good play here. It does open SuperMurloc to just play the Lunas here. The board is not too threatening with just a 4/6, but could start getting out of hand if you don't do anything. Let's see what he decides to do here.
Does SuperMurloc just Lunas? Is Luna's good enough that you can just seed board tempo for 2 turns for an entire, basically give BillSnyder 2 whole turns? Yes.
Yeah, and SuperMurloc says yes. I mean, a lot of top decks that he could get that could be very powerful there. So I don't completely disagree, but this Conj off the top is going to let him just build a massive board here potentially. Rip both halves of that. Maybe get rid of this security recover. No, it's gonna go for the Malagos, go sort of halfway. Find an option here that maybe could deal with something scary. Maybe this and going for the Frostbolt here.
Potential burn plan.
And there's Malagos. That's definitely one you don't mind seeing. Reaching for the Tertullian. I don't know what spell in your deck you'd rather have.
So you thinking about a Blizzard maybe for this turn? Because I don't know what else, or a puzzle box.
I mean, you have a 1-mana Calicos. I don't agree with this play, and You got the
Oh,
puzzle
there's
box, you got the blizzard.
Puzzle box.
It's
Puzzle
the player-
box could backfire
Ron
tremendously.
Mexico
but
says use puzzle box.
let's see what he goes for here.
That was.
I mean, it's got to be there.
Oh,
it
and he
is.
goes for the puzzle box.
Oh,
Let's see
man.
what happens. This could be for the game, depending on what happens here.
Ooh,
Destroy
contract.
minion. Which way is it going? It kills the
Pretty
Malagos.
good.
And give a friendly minion rush. Wow, earthquake.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, that's perfect for that.
Kills
swing.
with yeah, that is insane. Holy Nova to follow up.
What is
We've
happening?
got Big Bad Voodoo on the Twilight Drake and the clear there. And getting the Stargazer Moon off the top. What a series of events there with the puzzle box.
Thank you, SuperMurloc. Ron Mexico will hug you virtually sometime soon.
Holy crap.
Wow.
That's got to be one of the best puzzle boxes of Yogg-Saron I have ever seen in my life.
I think you must have missed my match the other night, but
Against Ron? Oh my god, yeah. That was.
yeah,
Oh, that's
going for the conch here. And wow, the Hakar. That is going to throw an interesting wrench into this game if we don't see a Reno get rid of it. And it might do that next turn. We do have the freeze with the Stargazer Luna
Alright,
to
so-
potentially just go crazy wide here. Let's see what happens.
So, I have an interaction question, and I doubt it will. But does anybody know if Zephyrus would take into account the Caligate effect?
I think it does not,
Tools of
unfortunately.
creation.
Yeah.
I've been there, but it does not.
Yeah, I didn't think
Wow.
it would,
I don't agree with this play. You have the initiative here to win the board, and that giving it up to kill some minions that are going to come back,
but yeah,
and one of them's going to put stuff in your deck. I don't like this play at all.
And Murloc is currently ahead in the draw speed as well. So when this Hakar Corrupted Blood gets going, it's going to be hitting him. Statistically speaking, it should hit SuperMurloc first. Wait a minute. If you hit Corrupted Blood with a Book of Specters draw, do you discard it? Speaking of interaction questions,
Actually, he's gonna say I'd rather just make this this die because my board's pretty good. If he has to, Reno this, he gets rid of his board. I don't mind that too much. Let's see how it turns out here. We'll see if he feels like the Reno is worth it here, and I think he has to.
I feel like it has to be.
Those are some pretty scary minions on the board, and you don't have a good way of dealing with them right now. Could get a freeze, and you have the giggling, but I think we're going to see it come down. Let's see what SuperMurloc decides to do.
yeah, trying to decide about getting through this Ziliax the hard way.
Yeah, I think considering a couple of options there, you have, Calicos and Malagos to try to find stuff, but choosing to go for that and, giving the initiative back to BillSnyder here. Just both players not finding their super powerful stuff just yet, stuff like Alec. But that is a huge clear for SuperMurloc that is now gone. There is his puzzle box.
Puzzle box.
All right, Frostbolt, Flame Strike, and Intellect, the choices. I have to assume at this point we're not drawing cards anymore.
Yeah, your cards are free, but I think you don't need to do quite that.
Magic trick.
Magic trick?
Yeah, maybe look for another freeze here with the magic trick eventually. Gonna use the flame strike right away. I mean, not too bad. You're able to clear off a good amount here, but
Is he? Alright, he was messing up his Zephyrus there. Magic trick for
Ray of Frost is pretty
Ray of
good in this
Frost,
matchup.
Yeah.
Yep, gonna hold on to that. See what this fire tree gives. Oh no, going for the giggling inventor. Okay.
Man, this kind of feels like a rogue term where you're slamming.
Oh boy, I don't know about this play, but we do have the counter spell, so Corbin's gonna have to think about that as well. Has the Book of Specters to proc it.
I think you're just playing Reno here.
Yeah, I mean, you're only looking at 12 damage, but it does feel pretty solid here to do. You are giving the initiative back to SuperMurloc. Not that there's a play that maybe you'd rather do, but you could, if you feel safe enough, yeah, you could do something like this. Kill off the 2-1 with the ping, and just try to get some value off of this Doomsayer before. Oh wow! And, say goodbye to the board. You're gonna be able to build another decent board here with that Tiamat, and actually considering the Zephyrus here, interesting.
Oh my, no, yeah.
This is
So Alex Tiamat, yeah, that's probably what you're gonna want to do there.
Man, this is the most turbo aggro Tiamats I think I've seen in a pair of series. With
yeah, Reno's gonna have to come down. I think the only power plays left for SuperMurloc is his very own Alex and the Zephyrus. So we'll see if he's able to find those. And there it is, right off the top.
Oh my god.
Life and hope.
These draws are pretty insane from Murloc.
I didn't expect when I said that these particular matchups, the Highlander Mage v Highlander Mage matchups, can sometimes descend into chaos and anarchy. This is actually exactly what I meant. So many of these turns, all I can do is sort of sit back.
And another freeze option available. It might have to just be a puzzle box for BillSnyder to answer this board.
Which, I mean, how perfect, what a quintessentially mage series of turns. Because if BillSnyder's puzzle box,
yeah, there is the counter spell though, so he's gonna have to draw a dragon here to be able to book a Spectres first. Does not find it, so he might have to go for it, or he's just gonna book into the Power of Creation, hoping it's enough to prevent lethal here. With the Zephyrus, it's gonna be tough.
He's gonna need Tolerant Charge.
My gosh,
that's not gonna be it.
Kael'thas, does that make?
No.
That's gonna be the win for SuperMurloc here.
Why didn't he
back.
get his puzzle box for free with Kael'thas on the board, with a Book of Spectres and a Power of Creation played? Why didn't he get his book for free?
That's a good question.
Actually, yeah.
Does the counter spell actually make it so that your spell doesn't fire?
Maybe it doesn't count.
Oh, no, yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. I think it's like the counter spell means that like it totally doesn't.
Oh dang! I've learned all kinds of stuff about interactions here.
Black Knight, yeah, that's lethal, right?
Yeah.
I think. Which one's lethal? He's at he has 18 damage on board. Bloodlust probably gets there, right? Actually, I'm not sure.
Or no, actually.
Yeah, Black Knight's
because it's a 4/11 taunt. The Black Knight, he's only got 18, and there's 20 damage.
This is one off, I believe.
Yeah, I think Black Knight is.
Oh, with the evasive worm.
With the worm.
Bloodlust.
It should be lethal. Yeah, that should do it. And SuperMurloc takes it and takes 4th and inches to a 2-1 lead now in the series. What a turn of events here. I mean, just need to find a win with the mage and just not able to get it. And SuperMurloc takes the win.
Gosh, you want to talk about living up to the team name, 4th and inches, because SuperMurloc went down 0-2 really fast in that series, losing with both the Druid and Mage to BillSnyder's Rogue and Druid. And then, BillSnyder's Mage just not, and we saw in the previous game when it was Druid versus Mage that his Book of Spectres discarded a lot of his board control spells. And then in that game, it's just, when it came to just a whole bunch of mage stuff, SuperMurloc was able to find that. You talked about Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, but we also talked about that turn 7 Luna's Pocket Galaxy, right? Like you seed tempo for 2. Your opponent basically gets 2 turns worth of tempo in exchange for the buff to your entire deck. And man, was it just Dragon Queen Alexstrasza for 1. All these powerful draws afterwards, just really setting him up for success. Which I'm always surprised at how the Luna's Pocket Galaxy, you're able to come back from such a tempo deficit. The turn of playing it is usually at best a 4/4, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it certainly worked out well there for SuperMurloc. Seeing the lines, playing that Luna's on 7 to be able to, just keep pushing out some value there. What a series, though. I mean, 4th and inches clearly has some sort of pact with Mage, because it is not working out for my team, and it's just doing good things for 4th and inches. I don't know. I mean, if you go back to the VOD of mine and Ron's match, you can see both Bill and I, our only losses both series have been with the mage. I lost 3 with the mage. He lost 3 with the mage. Something's not going right for us. The mage mirror is always the one that's just kind of giving us a problem. And SuperMurloc getting the win there right as he needed to.
And just sticking to it as well. Like I have a tendency when I'm playing ladder, if I lose 2 games in a row, I start to get like snippy, right? Just like, come on, like what's going on? Like, and especially because BillSnyder won. I think it'd be fair to say he won pretty decisively those first 2 games, right? Like he pretty much put
absolutely.
SuperMurloc away those first 2 games. It was like, and then,
almost won that game 3 too. Very, very close to stabilizing. Just being short of clearing the giant there that could have potentially saved him with the Reno. That top decks of Kronks in that Zoo game just gave him enough health on the board to survive the Reno and stop the stabilization from BillSnyder there. So quite a turn of events there, starting off super strong, and then of course that puzzle box doing wonders for SuperMurloc as well, clearing off the board just perfectly and building his own board there too. I mean, I don't know. I'm speechless. That was quite a series.
Yeah, that's a great point about BillSnyder. Like BillSnyder played really well, right? I'm trying to think back to a break point in the flow chart where it's like, oh, this is where he could have made a couple of different decisions and it would have gone differently. There's nothing clear sticking out in my mind at this point.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, SuperMurloc?
Hey, not much.
Hey, congratulations, man! What a series! And
I'm still catching.
I was just saying, I don't know if you made a pact with Mage, just 4th and inches or something, but I think all of your wins so far have been against Mage. Ron was able to get 3 wins into my Mage, just couldn't find the win there. And then the same thing here for BillSnyder. You able to get the Mage wins, and those mirrors especially just going crazy. Really
it's
crazy.
funny because like I think about like specifically that puzzle box that I played, and it's like if I could have sat there and picked 10 spells like that I wanted to play in that puzzle box, I probably would have been really close to what that box. I mean, it was perfect. I was like, oh no, he's got 1 minion with 1 health left. Oh, fan of knives, we're good. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's like 1 frostbolt to 1 of your Twilight Drakes, and that's
right. Yeah, that was the one thing that was bad about that box. It was like I was thinking about the last time that I had played Mage on stream, and I remember someone messaging me. It's like, man, you got a box there, and I felt like Blizzard was the safer play there, but I don't know. That was kind of like ringing in my memory. It was like, oh, you got a box there. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's have some fun. Let's see what the box does.
That's Ron Mexico just whispering in your ear. That's all. You have to box.
Yeah, he definitely was one of those talking about it. Like, just play the box, man. It's fun.
You never know the outcome, and that's pretty much
what
it rolls down to. So,
but
yeah, well, now with that win, I think the series is still quite close. I think you guys are up now, or is it tied actually with that win?
Now, yeah, 8-8.
Fully tied, yeah, 8-8. So it's still winner takes all for these next 2 matches. What a series this has been. I mean, we have Yellow Dart versus Your Mum tomorrow, and then Turd Herder versus Rage Doppel on Sunday. So that's going to be some exciting matches.
I'm looking forward to having no pressure in playing, and now I can just sit back, relax, and watch some good matches between everybody left. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Tell us a little bit about, and so game 3, we were talking a little bit before you came in that BillSnyder went up 0-2, as you're aware, quite quickly. Going into game 3, you queued your Zoo into his Mage. What are your thoughts on that matchup, the Zoo Warlock versus the Highlander Mage, and what was your mindset going into game 3?
Well, so I have played a ton of Zoo today. It was just something where more than anything, I was down 0-2 and was like, well, I know I put the work in with this deck. I know I feel good with it. I don't love the matchup generally, but at the same time, I was like, I didn't really want to put all that time in and not get to play the deck. And it was probably the one that I felt most good with as far as just like, running through the matchups and just playing it on ladder and climbing a little bit. And so I think it was more about choosing my comfort deck than it was that I wanted to play into that matchup, really. But it worked out. I mean, I got a really quick start, and it just got kind of out of control fast.
Oh yeah,
That
there's
it
definitely
did.
something to be said for playing the decks. Yeah, this is one of the best ways to beat the statistics, I would say, right? Like no matter what the matchup is, if you have a deck that you, like you said, have put the work in, you can just find ways. Like if you know what every card in your deck does in every situation, that just seems like a good way to
Yeah, that's really what it came down to, because I know that I think the numbers probably favor the mage a little bit, but I mean, if I sat there and looked at every mage warlock matchup I had today, you wouldn't think that. I mean, it was working pretty well for me today, and I was glad that it showed up when I needed it to. And it was also one of those things too, where it's like really changed my mindset. Like I was kind of going into that game like, oh, this sucks, but let's see what we can do. And then after that, I was like, hey, yeah, we're still alive. Let's, so it was
Let's
good.
keep rolling. Yep, and you did very well with it. So
Yeah, and I believe last time you guys faced off, he was able to reverse sweep you on the quest hunter. So able to get the redemption there, sweeping the Highlander mage.
Yeah, it's funny because when I tied it, I messaged him afterwards like, "Here we are again. Good luck." It's funny that it was just full circle that he reverse swept me last time, and I got a little revenge. I really feel good about it because I know that I think only 7.7% of people had any faith in me. So that was pretty nice to.
Yeah, well, Reno had faith in you tonight, so it's all you needed.
We'll take it.
Absolutely. Anyone you want to shout out or anything out there helping you out or something before we finish off this stream tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Just my 1 and 2 seeds on my team here, Itachi and Ron Mexico. Just shout out to them for just not only this week but all season long. Just any success I've had, those guys are a big part of it. So I appreciate all the work they put in, and I'm glad that it paid off, and glad I can pick up Itachi on getting swept and get those points back for us.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the tightest series so far that I've seen in the finals, at least in recent history. So we'll definitely see 2 more games, and I don't think there's any it's always gonna come down to match with this series now. So very cool to have it really go down to the wire there.
Yep. Well, I'd wish you luck and be polite about it, but I don't want to wish you too much luck.
You guys have had enough luck. Listen here, okay? You guys have had plenty of luck so far. I want some luck, okay? Your puzzle boxes are insane. Your Renos have been so good. I don't want to hear it. We need the luck for the next 2 matches, okay? Just hold on to. You've had enough. Our turn.
All right, we'll see. Either way, let's just have some good close matches down to the finish. This has been a really fun series, and I would love to see it just come down to the very last game on the last day. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I think it will do just that. I'm looking forward to the rest of the matches, and definitely stay tuned for those. Do you have? Should we announce those right now? Just the rest of the. Let me pull those up real quick.
I got them right now. If you want me to rip through them, so
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So Saturday School Zone or School Zone Saturday, we have Lotus Knight and Based Inc. with me stream mopping. We have a 2 p.m. Eastern match with Liquid Ox from FTL versus Ron Mexico from the Unknown. Second match of the day for the School Zone cast is Rage Stopple Fourth and Inches versus Turd Herder from Dad Legend. So that'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern.
I believe that match is on Sunday, actually. So they're
Sunday. You're correct. Yep.
Saturday for the other match, and
it's
Sunday,
just one. Yeah, I misread there.
One each.
So.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. And then Saturday night we have, well, technically they got 3 games here, but I'm not sure what's going to happen with the A.E.O.N and Tap Last. But we'll start with Markshire from A.E.O.N versus BillSnyder from Tap Last at 8 p.m. For the pro semis, and then we have your Mumkid from 4th and Inches versus Yellow Dart, which could be
I think it's going to be that one.
Yep.
for we won't have the backup for that one just because that match does matter.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that's going to matter. So that one's going to be shown at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then Sunday is Typhoon from A.E.O.N. Versus Nerdstrom from Tap Last at 9 p.m. Eastern, and Rage Stopper will be at the 5 p.m. show for School Zone Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, corrected myself.
So we have 2 more of the pro matches coming up this weekend, as well as the 2 remaining Legacy
Correct.
Final matches. So look forward to those. All of those matches are going to be quite important. The pro match, there is a chance, I think, if they win tomorrow for that Markshire versus, if BillSnyder does win tomorrow in the pro semis, I believe that does seal it for Tap Last. But then the next day we will have what is the final Sunday match? Oh, it's Typhoon, right? That's Typhoon versus Nerdstrom. So that match, if it's not determined, would still happen. So stay tuned for those.
So that about wraps it up for us. Anybody else want to add DollaBilz or Big Ted's?
I just looked at the stream and whose picture is this? That's me. This,
oh wow, where? Oh, that's Saku right there. That's Saku as DollaBilz.
Okay, yeah.
I thought I'd sneak my thing in there.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Oh, it's an honor
There
and a
he
privilege.
is. There's DollaBilz.
I'm getting up. I got upgraded. I didn't even realize it until I closed Hearthstone.
It's like, who is that? Oh, hey.
Oh, that's
Hey, baby, what's going on?
Oh, hey.
Yeah. But thanks for everybody for tuning in. Thanks DollaBilz. Thanks Big Ted. Thanks Mayanadon for making this Friday night casting a wonderful event as per usual. And congrats to the winners for tonight. So we will say good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks, everybody, again.